Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience.
Aquaman, King of the Seven Seas.
Oh my God! You get that Ted Knight narration.
I had
That's
to put that
that's
in
the
there.
late '60s version. That's the old DC Filmation one. That's pre-Super Friends.
Is that my Ted Knight from Too Close to for Comfort?
Yes, you, Monroe, you fruit basket.
Yeah, I miss Jim J.
Aquaman. He was the star of Caddyshack easily. I think he was the best part of
Oh, he's a
Caddyshack.
great actor.
Ted Knight deserved a freaking Academy Award for. If there was a comedic category, and there should be, he should have won it for Caddyshack.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Smales, right? Judge Smales.
Yeah, you remember him better than I do. I don't remember the character's name.
His big line, and it goes, "Danny, you want a Fresca?" He had the George Takei laugh.
Oh
And
God.
with the Fresca reference. A Smith, thank you, sir, for the $2 super sticker. I truly. Oh, my DB Cooper over. Who's Donveen?
And
DB.
everything else you have done for us, we appreciate it greatly.
Yes, sir. All your technical advice via Gmail. Hooper Vegas checking in, setting 802 East. Did we get it? No, I think we beat that. I think we
I
beat
think
it by a
so.
minute.
Does the
Like-
intro count, or when we
Yeah, I
start
think that's
talking?
a good question. I think the intro counts. I think I go with the intro. Absolutely go with the intro.
All right.
Put me down for 20 large on the 501. With the Smitty might have to.
They're making bets on you.
Okay. I love that my ARM time is now Vegas. Sonny Reasoner Vegas lines. Hey, you can bet on anything in Vegas. I bet this is actually on the line. I remember going to Vegas one time, and we basically was six. I think there were 6 of us, 6 or 8 of us, and went to Vegas. And it was in the middle of the NBA season, and we all pulled our heads together and we bet on 3 NBA games and won every one of them. Because we had a,
I win nothing.
it was pretty easy. The NBA was pretty. I mean, we kind of knew like the chip on your shoulder game where the last team lost, and they're gonna come back and win. I also put $50 on the Utah Jazz to win the NBA Finals because they had just
Good job.
they had just no, they almost won. They almost
almost.
This is mid-season, and they had just signed Ronnie Cycli. So I got to the window before that. Cycli never actually played for them. So Cycli did not want to go to Utah, and that Stockton and Malone twosome, they had a really hard time getting free agents to play, especially black free agents. So to hold them to the same ring counting standards as everybody else is ridiculous. Well, first of all, Malone was a 13th pick. Stockton was a 19th pick. Whoever had expectations for those two to be what they were? So to hold them to the same standards that Lakers and Celtics are is absolutely ridiculous. That's why the ring stuff is total horseshit. If you don't enjoy the journey, don't watch the game. If you can't enjoy the end,
I agree.
Right?
You're preaching to a Blazer fan, so
I know you know it better than. And one of the best franchises in terms of regular season winning percentage of all time. What did they have? Was it 9 straight years in the playoffs, which was the best at the time until last year?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
That's fine. I'll take a tank season. We're rebuilding, and we're gonna take you by storm, Lakers. We'll be better than you this year. I can't wait.
Who are you, Lori Petty over there, tank girl?
Yeah.
Huh? Gina Bobina, how are you doing? Gina's YouTube channel. Everybody check it out. My crypto nymphazo over here, uh, which is such a super heroine, almost like a Kryptonian villain from the Phantom Zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crypto nymphazi,
Good Lord.
the second female
I gotta learn to
Phantom Zone
spell.
villain. It's a tough one. It's a tough spell.
I want to give an update real quick. The Elaine video that I put out, the Brita Hoff
Getting a lot of
Follies,
compliments on that, by the way.
I worked hard on that. We have
You
made,
did.
I'm proud to say, YouTube has paid us 66 cents for that video.
That
Taking
means you're a
over.
professional entertainer, Sarah.
Yeah.
All you got to do is make money one time under the subject, under the category of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
You're a You can tell your parents you're a professional. I say this all the time. I know for a fact that who did we bring up that is last? Oh, Matt Williams is listening to the show saying, "I'm
Gonna sue
I'm
me.
I'm Sarah. I'm Sarah's cousin-in-law, or whatever the
No, you
connection
got
is.
it.
Is
Like
that what it
third
is?"
cousin-in-law. Never gave me tickets. Never got anything from him. Doesn't know I'm alive. It's fine. Now I
And
think
that's,
that divorce was so nasty because they had young kids.
yeah, I didn't know
That
anything about. Was it national news at the time?
she made the papers for being a vindictive ex. He said she was a bad mother. One of those 90s divorces in Hollywood. But yeah, that divorce was so brutal. I think he wants to forget her entire family.
Speaking of baseball, and I should have. Maybe we could do this Sunday or next week. I want to try. Chuck Finley, the Angels' left-hander, had the thing with Tawny Katane, and that's the most similar thing to Depp and Amber Heard. As in addition to the guy from the Black Keys and Michelle Branch,
Mm-hmm.
that's the same story.
Well, let's do it Sunday because that's going to be the theme Sunday.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Amber Heard stuff Sunday, right?
We have a very special
When
episode
is there not?
Sunday. You know, I said when she lost, I said I was going to say goodbye to her,
We all
and
thought that. I
it
know. I
hasn't
know.
happened. I'm very close, though. I think we're going to cut it off very soon.
She's the succubus. Hot and humid, says Hooper and Shirley. Hope Arm has plenty of ice to know. That's funny too, Hooper, because you're close to the water. Hooper's in a town called Shirley, William Floyd Parkway, and basically that's the um it's the Atlantic Ocean. It's no different. I always love, and Hooper, maybe you could agree with me on this, how everybody in Long Island thinks the richer the area, the better the ocean is, or something. Like the ocean knows socioeconomic lines or something. Like there's a have and have nots with the ocean. Like the ocean, like the Hamptons have their own special Brita filter or something that cleans the water better. Like where Hooper is, it's about uh, 40 minutes away from Howard's 17 Squabble Lane. He's 40
Okay.
minutes away
Mm-hmm.
on Sunrise Highway, 27A, 27. And everybody, Long Island's so wrong side, right side of the tracks kind of thing. They really delude themselves, especially the Hamptons, thinking that their ocean water is better than Hooper's.
Well, what are you judging it off of? Wave
No, they act like the beach
velocity?
is a velvet rope. They have private beaches, and the whole concept is not only keep the riffraff off, but they literally think their water is better. I'm telling you. I know.
Well, if you look at the videos of her prancing in her bikini, in her 45-year-old woman bikini, she is standing in front of like green water. It's very unimpressive. And I have to tell you, every webcam I see of the Hamptons, it looks like a lake.
Yeah, I know. The last 10 times I've been to the beach on Long Island, I have been utterly unimpressed with the lack of. We need Aquaman to make a current, to just run up right up into, whatever, 80 yards away from the shore and just do an aqua whirlpool and create his own waves. I mean, I have wave pools at Action Park in Vernon Valley, New Jersey, are better than the waves I've seen in the ocean.
I'm going to give props real quick if we're talking about waves. Anybody who has ever been to the Oregon coast,
Oh, you have some great shots. You got to show people those. I don't know, how would you do that on the maybe tweet them or put them on the WINO Forever thread. Oh God, it looks like you could shoot an Aquaman movie on what they have, like ravines and cliffs and fucking. They don't have really these on Long Island. You had like rocks formations in the
We have tide
middle.
pools,
Yeah,
rocks,
yeah, yeah. It's
sandy beaches that look like Hawaiian beaches. It's amazing. But I was going to say the greatest beach in Oregon is Glen Eden Beach. It sounds like you step down onto that sand and it's like this, you go to the beach, there's a rumble because the waves are out, to see. It is this loud, earth-shattering rumble because the waves are so huge and they come right up. You are standing right there where this huge wave is. And please be careful if you're ever on that beach. But it is the most beautiful beach I have ever seen. I've never taken a video and sent it to you of that beach because it's a little difficult to get down to and I'm fucking lazy. But yeah, it's gorgeous. If you ever like go to YouTube, not Google, but YouTube search Glen Eden Beach. It is the best beach I've ever seen.
okay. What about that super big gulp, huh? The
Yeah,
drink's got a fucking undertow over there, huh?
speaking of Melvin's message that's on the screen, I am extra slurry today. I don't know why.
Sound good.
Oh,
What thou mouth do, Sarah? What thou mouth do?
not much today.
What the heck was? I want to thank everybody in the WINO Forever thread. Johnny Bye Bye, Great Lazarus, Melvin,
And I
Dark
apologize,
Horse, everybody
John.
in there for all your little gifts and I mean, every time I have a request, it's fulfilled. That goes for obviously Boff, who now listens to us, who's our dark web master.
And by the way, Johnny Bye Bye, I apologize. You set me off with the Deshaun Watson thing in that thread. I wasn't directing my anger at you. Trust me, I love you.
Look at Andrew Morgan with a Tim Donaghy reference. You know who that is, Sarah?
Yes, I do.
Oh, who?
Your mentor in the
Yeah, imagine that. He's your referee mentor.
in the
He's the
crooked referee field.
For any non-NBA, he's the crooked referee. But again, according to Donaghy, the whole NBA was crooked at the time, that they had mandates from the head offices that the Lakers must make the finals, and it's no coincidence.
Of course.
They really. I had this rant the other day. The NBA is way too. Obviously, it's my favorite sport, and it's my game, and it's my bloodline. But I'm not above criticizing in any chance I get, and I think we're in store for a lockout pretty soon. I think the players have way too much power, and it's almost like how I equate it to Howard going to Sirius. His goal to get to Sirius, right? Do as little live radio as possible, and make as much money as much. I coined the vacation solution. His goal from the day he signed with Sirius: how can I build this company, provide as little live radio as humanly possible, make as much money, and take the most time off? That is now the contemporary NBA player's goal.
Yeah.
The love of radio is equivalent to the love of basketball.
Mhm.
There's very few people in the league. And I played with guys who were really good players, but they didn't love the game. You knew they didn't love it. They wouldn't play summer league. They wouldn't play pickup. They were just kind of gifted. And you knew the moment if you gave a guy like that $1 million contracts, you know how quick they would sit out any chance they got to
Mhm.
not play? That's a whole league of that now, of non-passion.
Yeah.
Lack of passion.
Most of them are in New York.
It can't last. It can't possibly last.
Mhm.
Most of them in New York. Well,
Do you
talking about
know?
Brooklyn?
Do you know? We're gonna get off this topic. We actually have a show about Depp today, but this upcoming NBA season is going to be torturous for me. Do you know why? I am going to revel in the rise, the Phoenix rising of my Portland Trailblazers, but I have to sit through La China passing Kareem.
Well, that you're gonna regardless of what this is the Lakers' advantage they've had in the NBA over the NBA is obsessed with keeping the Lakers in the collective.
Of
And it should
course.
why is the NBA the only league that's concerned with markets? In college basketball, the best teams are Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Kansas. And what states are they in? Kentucky, that's not a big market, and that's the biggest draw nationally. Why does
Mhm.
in the NFL the best Super Bowl is pretty much Pittsburgh against Green Bay, two
Mhm.
horribly small teams, small cities. The NFL could give a shit. That market stuff is total horseshit. The NBA wants to be in bed with Hollywood, is really what it is. They're too obsessed with celebrity and fame, and it's too interwoven, and that's cancerous to the league's competitive balance.
Yeah. Let me skip ahead. Rooster Sideburn says, I only watch the WNBA. Rooster Sideburns, I'd rather watch a high school game.
If they were playing in my backyard, I'd
I will never
close the
lie
blinds.
or pretend I give a shit about the WNBA.
Well, that's a whole, emasculating of it's a political correct kind of almost like affirmative action for women that the NBA supplements the and we pretend that there's way more interest than there is.
Well, they
It's
should be
amazing.
paid the same as the men, right?
Hooper goes, we're going to cover the Stallone divorce.
Um, it's a weird divorce. He's like 200 years old, and
He's
she's like in her
76.
50s.
I think he's 76.
Isn't this the time? Just let it ride. Just let it ride. He's gonna die fairly soon, probably from
You can't go through
roids.
another midlife crisis. I know you've been through 5 of them. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
I think Stallone thinks he has another 76 years ahead of him. I think he looks into just like, suspended animation and prolonging his life. I think looks in. I think he thinks he's immortal. I really do. I think in his mind he thinks he's going to live another 76 years.
I had the grotesque thought, what if he cheated? I don't even know if that roid dick even gets up at this point. It's probably really small because he has done roids his entire life.
Yes, he has.
And he's always punching somebody in pictures.
He's represented by the same business manager as Depp.
Oh, well.
They have a weird interwoven connection. That's kind of when I was sifting through the transcript, Stallone came up over and over again. And I'm like, what is
weird.
this?
Yeah.
But
Barbara DeRush. Backstory on that. I apologize. He left before they married. He left Jennifer Flavin for who's the redhead Howard used as
Angie Everhart.
Angie Everhart.
Pesci, Howard, and Stallone. I would love to give her an F, Marry, Kill with those 3 now.
But he cheated with Angie Everhart on Jennifer Flavin, and Jennifer Flavin went back with him later.
How many times has he been married? I really get a headache when I think about his personal life. I don't know. He's so 3 annoying fame whore daughters who are these sort of
I know.
Just classic Instagram, nepotism Instagram influencer. They're all kind of attractive and this crazy sense of entitlement. Yeah, they look like Frank Stallone. Frank Stallone.
Maybe Frank got in on that and slipped Jennifer Flavin the.
Did you ever hear Frank Stallone on the is it the Staying Alive soundtrack?
I know he was a big part of that.
Yeah.
Sad you know that.
I'm in the game. He's also the singer and Rocky when they're in the take it back, bring it back. The Philly, the garbage pail. I think he's in more than one. Did the Blackies?
Oh my God!
Hi, Kylo Sierra Alpha and Barbara DeRush. Let me just catch up on the chat before we dive into Aquaman 2, I guess.
This is a wasted effort from you. You're never going to catch up.
No Sataka Arm. What was the Melvin line? He says that I'm still on last week's chat or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had that, which prompted the angry arm. That's the way to.
I know. Apparently, I'm looking at the chat. Apparently, they are compiling a best of arms screaming.
Ah, cool. I mean, anger is the key to all art, isn't it? Isn't it the key to all entertainment and art?
If only
Cooper in me. I have a little Pat Cooper in me, I will admit.
No, you do, absolutely. If only I hadn't edited out that massive rant you went on one time that I was almost in tears.
I was mad at myself, though, not you.
I know.
What was I yelling? What was that?
I don't remember.
It was a technical issue.
Yes, probably.
Did I mispronounce something, or it was like wasn't it like a reading gaffe of some kind? Or
I don't know, but it was 10 minutes I had to take out of the end of the show. This was before we went live. We did live shows.
I think was it muted or something didn't record? Like I went through all this. I think that's what it was. I went through all this crazy effort, and you've told me that something was muted or it cut out or it didn't record.
Mm-hmm.
And I was I'm telling you, it sucks. It was, I don't know. It's like losing your wallet.
Well, I will be honest. Also, I huff.
Oh, you? Sariana Huffington's your new name.
Yes, I get when I'm tired, I am the worst. When I think, I am in the right and I'm tired, I will have a temper tantrum. And that kills you. I know that. So I will be better.
Hooper, arm. Ocean East. Shinnecock is awesome. God damn, I've been there in such a long. My 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 family and their good friends, the Flintstones and the Rubbles. We used to clam there. I remember it was. It's God. It's been so. Shinnecock is actually right in between the Hamptons and where Hooper is in Shirley. It's
I
like the exact
totally
in between point.
I
He's
totally heard that wrong until I saw his message come up. I thought he
wind
said
direction.
Shitticock.
I know you need it to be windy. He's right. You need wind direction is very important. What the hell was I going to say? You want to hear a great rant? How about Monique one time screamed at Dennis, and I think that made it on the show. Dennis did what you he huffed, and she was in the middle of a passionate something or other, and it sucks the life out of you. And she was like, Dennis, if you fucking huff one more time, I'm dropping you out of this. If you fucking it was, and I caught Dennis huffing, and I think it's what happens with him is it's so late for him,
Yeah.
and he wakes up really early. And I think when you do those late shows, I think he just hits a wall. And he was in just like that. He had no whatever we were doing. It didn't matter what it was. He was gonna huff,
Mm-hmm.
and she just wasn't having it. And I don't know if you could find that. I forget where it was. I feel like it was like about a year ago. Goonie Beach, and yeah, everybody equates Oregon with Goonies.
Yeah, that's a movie I've never watched.
I've never seen the whole thing either.
Oregon is
Or,
beautiful, everyone.
Andrew Morgan says, yeah, it does all the landscapes from desert to mountains. The Swastika Mountain, is
I
that
don't
true? Is
probably maybe in Eastern
Aceman
Oregon.
says? Uh,
That's militia country in Eastern Oregon, so I wouldn't doubt.
Wiggy is a parasite, a tick, a flatworm, a fluke, a menace sucking the host dry. Well said, Melvin. That's very poetic. Hey, Sue Monster. Again, thank you for all your kind words in general in the chat. Thank you for your generous
Oh,
contribution at the buzzer last week,
I
which
know
we
we
kind
just
of
missed
signed
it.
off. You're such a sweet woman as a whole. No, I didn't mean a whole. I didn't mean it the whole. I
Oh
mean,
my God,
I
is
didn't
this
mean that.
Jocktober?
No,
Is
no,
a
no,
whole?
no. And I want to say thank Fudgesicle had a great compliment for me. She complimented me for I learned the word moot from Rick Springfield's Jesse's Girl. You know how you pick up there's a weird word in a song they used to rhyme. And Bonnie Raitt uses patronize in your favorite song. Turn down the
How dare you? How
lights.
dare you stir up high school for
Turn
me?
down the bed. Turn down these voices inside my head. Bruce Hornsby's piano. Lay down with me. Tell me no lies. Just hold me close. Don't patronize me. Don't
There's no me.
patronize. No, it's me. It is. She says patronize me. If I almost positive.
You're not
And I can't
correct.
make you love me if you don't. You can't make your heart feel something it won't. Actually, that's a great song. And Bonnie Raitt's a very underrated broad music. Female musician wise, better than Marilyn Manson, way better than Marilyn. I would rather see Depp collaborate with Bonnie Raitt than Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. Before we get started, I do want to announce that any super chats, please put them in my name and I will donate them once I have accumulated a
Oh,
certain
stop.
amount. I will donate them to my uncles, cousins, sisters, brothers.
Matt Williams?
No, nieces, nephew, his chemo fund. So just letting you know. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you, Mr.
No,
On?
I don't. I don't.
Okay. I think chat will.
I heard the imported ginger from China when I discovered Melbourne, Ivy League, women's lacrosse. I didn't realize until a few years ago that the Ivy League doesn't actually offer scholarships for sports. There's no scholarships. I don't think for I think they assume everybody's rich that goes there and you don't need it. They don't actually offer scholarships
Yeah.
for academics or sports.
And to inform you, that's a Stuttering John reference.
Melvin goes, "Where's Angry Arm expose? Bon Jovial's going to do one. Hey, that'd be great.
Bon Jovial says he already has them, and he
I'm
also has the dentist drop of Monique screaming.
He does?
He says he does. You'll
Is
get
he in the
to it.
chat right now?
Yeah.
Oh my! I didn't see. Hey, Bon Jovi, I didn't see you there. I'm a little behind. I'm loving the banter. Bon Jovial, what? I had something to ask him. God, we're gonna do a show with him about Depp's early music years. I had a musical question for him, and it fucking drive me crazy. I was thinking about him all week. I had a musical question. It was some technical thing. Yeah, Stallone is a Barbara Babs DeRush. Stallone is a crazy fucking hair system.
Wow.
Have you ever seen those plugs like slick back?
It's not surprising. The chemicals he pumps into his body since the 80s, they also make you bald.
What the hell was I gonna say? Melvin, I need to get sure to it. But I cop to it. I have a very hot temper. I mean that in the best possible way. I think that it's valid when I do it. I think that I'm a little up and down, but I think when I'm angry, it's usually warranted. And I like to be angry. I have that Bruce Banner side to me where I like to be angry to let me know I'm alive. I'm not gonna do that all the time. I don't run around going to
You're not usually out of line. You just go from 1 to 100 in 2 seconds.
I can do that, yeah.
But that is 5% of you, and the other 95% of you is the most amazing human man I have ever had the pleasure of spending, time with.
Listen to David, Sarah. Thank you for that compliment. Frank Stallone and Geraldo boxing.
Oh yeah, I'm old enough. I remember.
Holy shit! Okay, now that you say that, David, I don't know how I'm going to avoid. Did you know that I got on Howard and I referenced that to Stephen Baldwin and Billy Baldwin? And I think I may actually have that here. Depp versus Stern. This calls for playing it. When I got on the first time I was ever on Howard, went pretty well. And you want to hear Angry Arm? Do you want to hear Angry Arm? Maybe we should play this because you're here. Depp is brought. I bring up Depp in this 100 times.
You have it though?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Okay, all right.
I put it in like for another date, but the fact that David brought up that Geraldo and Frank Stallone, I can't help it. I gotta play it.
Then let's get into the other stuff.
Why does Alec not invite me and Chevy Chase he invites? Why is that?
I don't know, Howard. What
is that too low or
Did you adjust it when you started?
I'm ready to invite you to any
I adjusted it, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine right now.
Okay.
function you'd like to come to, Howard. I love you.
Are we on the outs with Alec? Is he not talking?
Does Alec think I'm no good? Does he think I'm not worthy?
Alex, it's not about that. You can't.
You know how bad.
Okay, this is like late 99 or something, 90, and I'm staying up all night drinking. Just an absolute party animal.
I've never heard this.
All night drinking. You never heard this?
I don't think so.
This is a Thursday. Stephen Baldwin calls in, and he'd been on the show. Those are the years when Stephen Baldwin was on all the time. Remember, he would call in constantly.
So I hated that era.
And Billy Baldwin's never been on the Stern show other than right here.
Smart man.
So he's reacting to me. And you want to hear? I mean, this is perfect because this is Angry Arm. This is Geraldo and Frank Stallone. This is Depp. I can't think of a more perfect thing to play right now. So so I'm up all night, just complete party.
This makes me nervous.
In my 20s, hadn't slept, and I hear Stephen Baldwin come on, and I somehow connected the fact that Howard hated Billy Baldwin, and I just use it against him.
I don't know if I want to know young party animal Arm.
What? No, that's a fun guy. I'm a great drunk. But why am I a drinking coach? Why do you think I'm taking that on for no reason?
That's true.
I think I might have still been drinking. It's very possible in those years.
This makes me nervous.
Coming from Park Slope, Brooklyn.
I needed to speak to
Alex.
I've supported Clinton, and also I need him badly to step in on behalf about the FCC. Where is he?
You should call Alec.
I'm not going to call him. You call him. That's your job.
Well, Stephen, your brother looks really fat.
All right,
Dave. You have a good day.
Stephen, answer this.
Okay, so let me set this up more. So after this, Stephen and William are going to host Regis and Kathy Lee, replacing Regis. So they're sitting in as the co-host for Regis with Kathy Lee, and they're on their way to go there.
All right.
It's all New York, it's all fucking that Manhattan Midtown circle jerk of media.
Is it true you are going to be on with Regis and Kathy Lee?
That's true.
Is it true that you're going to bring your brother Billy with you?
That's true.
Why do you never come here with your brother Billy?
Oh.
I didn't know you wanted us to. We'll come over there anytime.
Sure, we'll never hear from you again.
Right.
Oh, Robin, you're such a little...
This guy's name is Arm. He wants to speak to Stephen Baldwin. Go ahead, Arm.
I agree with that. Your brother Billy is the biggest pussy boy in films.
Why?
Okay, I should also set up too. So I talked to Stuttering John in this. He's the screener at the time.
Yeah. Okay.
So John, they have a traditional number. It was like 1-800-99 Stern or something.
Yeah.
And that number is kind of a chump line. Meaning, they don't answer it a lot. It rings forever. They don't pick up. And so my friend gave me the K-Rock office number.
Wow.
And it went to John. So it was like 212 something, something, something. And it might still be my phone.
I got I admire you every time. I hear one of these phone calls, I would have thrown up and just hung up.
Oh, I was nervous. I was more angry, and I was almost like I'm on coke. It's gonna sound like I'm on coke, but I'm not. I'm just up all night. It's like when we were on with Artie. It's the same thing. Just this whacked out thing where something happens to the overtired thing where it turns into energy. I wish I could bottle that or something when you need it for a nicer day. Fudgesicle is going on. Fudgesicle is obsessed with Stuttering John. Was going on.
The more and more we go along with this, the Stut Joe lore, I'm kind of agreeing. You learn new things. You should never meet your heroes. Let's just say that.
John was my hero in those years.
I mean, not
hero, but like I thought he was like the Mount Rushmore of.
I agree with you. For a long time, he was my favorite. I'm learning more than I've ever wanted to know.
Like, say what you will about all this crazy negativity he has now. You just go back and watch those old interviews. It is insane.
It's tainted that for me.
Balls he had doing that stuff. The trouble he put himself into that Howard would never on his best day be capable of sitting through.
I agree with that. Again, though, last thing before we get back to this, it's tainted me. And I'm sad that it has kind of ruined that era for me, because I've never laughed so hard in my life as I laughed in that era listening to that show.
Yeah.
And I can't look at it the same now.
Well, I mean, when's the last time you watched like a full interview with him? Kate Moss, when I played the Kate Moss thing for you last week. He had Kevin Spacey. He had Kevin Spacey, who was pretending to be hetero with Laura Dern. What a crazy thing that was. The thing he was at, the people he got a hold of that time. And then he had Barry Gibb, Jesus Christ, as Dennis Miller said at the end of it.
How does he continually get cash? You can't fail.
So I'm just playing on. Howard had mentioned a few times on the air, and I had this weird steel trap memory for some things. And I remember hearing this. It's like 7:30 in the morning. I'm half asleep. And you know how, like, when you're listening to this, you're always up anyway. You don't relate to this. But when you listen to the old show, I mean, I would be like asleep and it would be on in the background, and you would take some things in and you would wake up for 45 minutes and then sleep. And sometimes I would just retain it. And I remember him going on a rant about Billy Baldwin. So this is like my way of, I was trying to appeal to Howard's bitterness about Billy Baldwin during this. So I channeled it when I got on. And when I got on with John, I must have sounded so whacked out and angry that he just put him on now. Howard, this guy's crazy. Put him on.
This guy's name is Arm. He wants to speak to Stephen Baldwin. Go ahead, Arm.
I agree with that. Your brother Billy is the biggest pussy boy in films.
Why?
How does he continually get cash? You can't fail more than he does.
Stephen, what is
maniacs?
Stephen,
fair game, liver. How does he make money? How does he live on that crap?
I suggest you think about revamping his whole career, son.
He's the
I think what he needs is a guy just like you.
There's the first Depp reference. You hear it, Sarah?
I didn't
hear
hear
he's
it.
the anti-Johnny Depp and Steven Step.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
keep going back to it.
Anti-Johnny. I understand he asked.
As a matter of fact, I think you should go right to Washington, D.C. today and straighten out all the political problems of the entire universe.
I'd rather watch Fled in a marathon.
Is your brother?
Do you know what Fled is?
No.
I don't know what I was on this day. God, I'm just like hitting on all. So he did a movie with Lawrence Fishburne where they two escaped prisoners, and it's like a buddy movie.
I do know. Yeah.
And it was on my D-Scrambler, and it ran like 1,000 times. I must have seen it and it just popped in my head. These are the things you just can't. And that's not some back patting myself in the back. I was just in a whacked out mood where you could. I remember thinking, I wish I could bottle that energy for another day. Just to kind of, you're just hitting on all. So I don't recommend, what I did.
Why not?
Alec trying to become the president of the United States.
I have no comment.
You will not comment?
Then that's a yes.
Steven, he asked China out.
Okay, this is the biggest. This is the big moment of. So I think G Canada's gonna love this. I sing here.
Oh no.
And I'm just rattling off. I don't know what the fuck. I could never recreate this if I tried.
Steven, he asked China out by saying, "I like your music." What did he went up to him and went, "Hold on for one more day." Oh God, his career is hideous. How do you live with that guy?
What do you think of this, Stephen?
You know what the best part is he's saying all these things, and how I live with him is he beat me my whole life.
So you don't even like
him.
him.
I wish this guy would say this to Billy's face, because then he'd know how I live with it.
Stephen, what about that? Has Billy...
Stephen, right now, is it Billy or William, can I call him? What is it right now?
I stole that from Depp.
Oh, okay.
I read an article with Depp, and the interviewer asked him, this is like Playboy magazine interview, and he said, "Are you going to become John at a certain point?" You've been called Johnny, and you think it's a little silly. You're 33 or something.
I gotta
still be called John. And I remember going, "Oh wow, I like that." And so Depp in the article goes, "No, I'm going to still be Johnny. It'd be like Billy Baldwin now becoming William or something."
Nobody should ever, and they'll learn someday. Nobody should ever flex to you by say it to his face, because you'd be thrilled to.
I know. I was a little. I had these moments of Jonathan Crane, Professor Crane moments of like where the element of fear was taken away from me, and you don't give a shit. You have nothing to lose. And then I have days where I'm completely terrified of everything.
Yeah.
Hi, Lauren Marie. Thank you. I'm glad you're here tonight, because we're going to get to Roman Polanski later, even though we're going to use it again when you're going to hopefully sit in with us for the 9th Gate special we do.
It's a sexy topic, Roman Polanski.
Anyway.
Right now,
I
think you should approach him with all these situations.
Is it Billy or William, can I call him? What is it right now?
I think you should approach him with all these situations on the street.
I'd like to beat the living crap out of him. What is what I like to do.
You're saying you're challenging Billy Baldwin to a fight?
If you'll ref it, Howard, I'll do it.
Absolutely, I would be there.
David, here comes your golden moment. Here comes the Frank Stallone and Geraldo reference.
Can we set it up?
Pay-per-view.
How about a tag team? Me and Frank Stallone against Geraldo and Billy.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Well, Stephen, obviously he is not a fan of your brothers.
Bro, I love your fans so much. They're brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, it's great that they're yelling at you for your brother's body of work.
Where did he come up with Frank Stallone and Geraldo just now?
It's just a reference to the past.
My God.
Well, what is it? Is Billy Baldwin the same guy as William Baldwin? Are they the same person?
That's correct.
All right. Stephen, you're trying to raise money for charity, and yet these people are attacking your family. Why is that?
Well, I can't try to figure these things out right now, Howard.
Right, but you're having a great life, and what you're doing is very important.
Babe Lewis goes, "Oh wow, that Long Island accent sounds like Deborah Stern's boyfriend." Do I have a Long Island? Is it bad? Is the Long Island accent bad there?
I don't. I'm used to it now, so I don't even hear it anymore.
It's a little bit. I'd say it's like 15% prevalent in that. Prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, it's not full on. I think you could tell I'm from the tri-state area, but I don't know if I guess you could detect it here and there, right?
You offering to fight anybody is kind of a turn on.
So he actually, I tell you, and I feel it like slightly regrettable. He's actually a very nice guy. Billy Baldwin's the only normal one out of all. He's the only one that has a stable life and has no crazy addictions and he has nothing to be embarrassed
No, he needs to get a punch to the cranium just for Sliver alone.
Oh, he sounds like such an arrogant. He comes on. So what happens here is he's listening to this. Billy Baldwin's listening to this. He's coming over to pick Steven up to go to Regis and Kathy late. I'm listening still. and Billy Baldwin takes the phone and starts screaming about me. And I get back on the phone with John,
Oh
and
my
they put me
God.
back on with Billy Baldwin, and I scream at him. And I sound psychotic here. This is
Oh.
where I sound like I'm on coke or Angry Arm or Pat Cooper Arm or the arm Melvin loves the most.
The first annual Carol M. Baldwin Celebrity Golf Tournament takes place.
I don't know if I edited it because it's a long. There's an extended version of this, so I don't know if I went right to when Billy comes on. Let me see if I can't remember what I did with this.
Place on Monday, August 10th at St. Andrews Golf Club in Hastings on Hudson. And yes,
Beautiful area.
Rosie O'Donnell will be there. Do you hang with her? Are you a friend of hers?
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is going to this tournament, like a pool, and this is like on the balls of his ass, Downey. This is like, obviously way
Yeah.
before
He
any
just woke
kind of
up from the
comeback.
kid's
Yeah,
bed.
this is, and he's such a different star at that point. And Steven brought up Rosie O'Donnell, which is Howard's mortal enemy at that point. Let me see if I can.
No, Alec and Kim know her, but I'm just glad.
Why are they friendly with her and not me? Why is Kim never have me
maybe
over?
they jumped over into her camp and left us. I don't know.
Right.
Babe Lewis writes, Billy Baldwin's wife, China, who we just heard me sing, has a big Christ-based YouTube channel. He
Not
appears
shocking.
on it a lot. God damn it, I gotta look at that. Do you remember China Phillips? Sarah appeared in the Depp commercial, the Pepsi commercial he did with
I
Sharon.
think
She
so.
was in the front row and going, that was I've watched that like 100 times since. It's definitely her. There's no mistake in that. It's definitely her.
Thank God Christ saved her from that haircut back in the day.
She's a stunning woman. That Estelle Costanza is a stunning woman. Sarah, you are a stunning woman.
Thank you.
What is it? You have to be friends with
Liberals coming out, acting like there are
people who do. It's true.
Are you skipping?
Me.
Okay.
I'm trying to find when Billy
I
comes
said,
on.
no, I don't. They go, no.
So Howard's still interviewing Steven, and then Billy's listening, and he comes on and screams on the phone. He grabs the phone from Steven.
Look good. You'll be out there. You'll get through it.
And then I did Friends and Lovers with Robert Downey Jr. and my girlfriend in the movies, Claudia Schiffer.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
She can't act.
Sure she can. She does great in this movie.
Isn't she a dunderhead?
No, she's terrific.
What's she doing with that magician?
I have no idea.
You think that's for real?
Probably playing a little blackjack.
Do you think that's for real? It's for real?
I know it's for real. Really and beautifully.
Is she as dumb as a rock?
Like your wife.
The heroin addict?
Robbie Downey Jr.
Okay, this is him talking shit about
Robert Downey Jr., the heroin addict?
Robbie Downey Jr.
Oh, that's right. You were working with him. Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Is he a mess or what?
No, he's totally got his whole thing together. He's doing great.
Well, we've seen this before.
Yeah. Steven's a good guy. He even said that about Chris Farley.
I know.
Steven was like, hey, Chris is doing great. Yeah. Next thing you know, the guy's dead.
You're
So
bad.
long, Robert Downey Jr.
Sarah, did you know? I think you listened to it. I showed you the clip. I mean, I think I sent it to you, but we didn't play it. Did you know that Farley was a Viper Room regular?
Yeah, I think I knew that.
That guy, Josh Richmond, Ronnie Seabach, aka, said that Farley was there like all the time, and like he relayed some story about him trying to. This is why I think he's a drug dealer, because he was talking about how he was asking him how to score, blah blah blah, and where this guy A. Smith was, and he didn't know where he was, and
Yeah.
this is
Can
why
I
I think
ask-
that Richmond's a drug dealer.
Let me ask one question
Yeah.
before you continue. With Robin, who I can't stand,
She likes you.
happy at the thought of Robert Downey Jr. floating off into heaven.
Yeah, good. That's classic Schadenfreude, right?
But who's healthier today, Robert Downey Jr. or that toadwort Robin?
WNBC golf clap, Sarah. Perfect radio gunk observation. That's why you should be on the show a lot more. I know you don't care about the Stern Show anymore.
Do a retrospective show, and I'd be happy to.
That's a phenomenal observation, right? Look
Well,
at Downey now and look at Robin. That's
she's
so good.
To this day, she's like growing into the fabric of her recliner, watching Bones marathons on TBS.
I love that. I take ownership of that.
I know. And a
TNT
fireman
and
is going to
Bones.
have to come through the wall one day with a pickaxe and drag her ass out with a crane. And Robert Downey Jr. keeps winning.
Gina Bobina says it best, and I don't like to use wigger terminology, but there's a perfect usage of snap. Right?
Yep.
Perfect.
I'll be right back.
Sarah slapped down.
The best thing about Stephen Baldwin is because Chris Farley's doing great. Next time I see a picture of him and Chris Farley in a video, like two of them, like look, S-face. But
Right.
Stephen doesn't do any drugs.
No, Stephen just gets that look.
Yeah. Stephen has that look on his face like he's doing drugs.
Contact.
Yeah, he gets the contact high. He works with everyone.
Yeah, right, guys. Just Stephen Baldwin's one of these guys, and Jim Brewer has this thing. I think it's a Long Island face. He looks drunk and stoned every time you see him. He's constantly has the dilated, crazy eyes and the pupils.
Baldwin?
And he just Stephen. Even though he's like this teetotaler, and the whole fucking family are teetotal.
Well,
They're all dry drunks. They're all like they drank for like 15
Yeah.
minutes in the. What's the story with I don't want to get off on this.
He's another god
That,
freak.
that Opie and Anthony comedian crew, they're all sober freaks. With
Dry
ninnies
drunks.
ninnies without Jim Norton. What the?
He's into some other stuff that is illegal in most states.
So what is it? He drank when he was 17 and had a bad experience
Yeah.
with beer, and he hasn't had a drink since he was 7.
I
What
guess.
the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Are we supposed to feel sorry for him? He's in AA still? Shouldn't there be like a statute of limitations on AA?
Yeah.
Like you didn't really earn the. What is that? They're all Colin Quinn and Rich Voss and
Well, Rich Voss, he was a real addict. He was like sucking guys off for cocaine. So
Wow, it's the Baldwin brothers are just like that. They all had like. Did you know Alec was a fucking busboy at Studio 54?
I believe that.
There's shots of him in short, like
Oh
John
God,
Stockton-
was
John
the
Stockton
chest
shorts.
was the
Yes.
chest fro
Yes,
out in force?
Isn't he perfect for that?
Oh, so gross.
22-year-old Alec Baldwin. And I was a busboy for Steve Rebell, and I made better tips than I did as an actor.
Gross.
A mere 5 years later.
Mm.
Ian Schreger and Steve Rebell. Bloodhound eyes, yes, Gina.
I vicariously live through people like you, Howard.
Stephen's the kiss of death. You hang around with him, you get on drugs and you die.
Goodbye, Robert.
Like Danny Baldwin's more of a mess than any of them are.
Yeah, but I actually find him attractive
He
in that picture.
That's probably the best. Well, I went for the best they ever looked collectively when I went.
Yeah.
I actually looked for a picture of them, a group shot, and
He's
that was the best I
he's
could
the
find.
pudgy outsider brother. I find that more attractive than like Billy on the opposite side there in his mom jeans.
Melvin goes, Jim Norton still gets high on tranny wiener and
Oh yeah.
ephedrine.
And what's that drug he takes so he doesn't get AIDS?
Oh, I don't know. You would know.
Oh my God. Chat will help me. But he takes this drug because he's a bottom.
Okay, and this is real.
PrEP. It's called PrEP. He takes
Okay.
PrEP so he does not have AIDS transmitted through anal sex. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if there's a guy I relate. If there's a guy I relate to less than Howard, it's Jim Norton.
Yeah,
One of the reasons I just despise that Jim and Sam shit. I mean, could you imagine that? Well, they're by the way, they're Buckwall clients, so that's the only reason that show even exists, and that it's distilled down to this. So he's gay, right? So is he gay? He's gay, right? Is
he has
is he out of the closet
girlfriends.
or?
I would say he's bi. I don't know. I don't even
He's like
care
a
to
Colin
know.
Quinn knockoff too. He uses all the same like nomenclature and terms and insults Colin Quinn does. A lot
Yeah.
of dummies and dopes and a lot of. I love that. You turned me on to that documentary. What was it called? The Worm Has Turned or something.
The Worm Has
That was
Turned.
so
Yeah.
good.
Porcelain documentaries are the greatest thing ever.
Yes.
Do me a
Porcelain.
favor real quick. Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say take the T word off the screen before we get.
Did I? What was it? What did I do?
The starts with a T and it ends in Ranny.
No, Hooper, you got that. Different Jew, different 7-year-old, different Jew comedian.
Jewish.
That's Richard Lewis.
Jewish
The
man.
champagne drunk. I love that. He's talking about Richard Lewis claiming he was an alcoholic because he had a problem with champagne. He like dozed off at a movie premiere because he had a couple sips of champagne, and he went on Howard, and they just weren't having it. And I use this as a moment of like what you used to love about the Howard Stern show. This was Howard at his absolute cynical finest as a kind of surgical interviewer. he would not buy Richard Lewis's alcohol. I had never in my life heard someone who pushed back on alcoholism. I was obsessed with this interview. I had it recorded. I listened to it 1,000 times. And Jackie's writing for him at the time. And John was a big, obviously a huge, huge booze hound. And so the show loved alcohol, and they just weren't. The pushback was so entertaining. And they just Lewis was a good sport. Like Richard Lewis is a great guy, and he was a good sport about it. But it was such a phenomenal moment that I'd never in my life, almost to this day, not heard about. Where someone didn't buy someone's alcohol, the martyr complex of like the AA playing the alcohol, the AA card, and they just weren't having it. One of my favorite interviews of all time. But it's actually Richard Lewis Hooper, not Belzer. But David Brenner would have been another guy you could have said that, Jew comedians who are in their 70s.
Jewish.
Yeah. Who were like big, like in the old new days of New York stand-up in the 70s, like the old improv with what's the guy with the monocle? The fucking club owner. Forget Jesus, Jewish last name. God damn it, I forget. Big icon in the stand-up community, club-wise. Yeah, Jim Norton's gay, right, Sarah? Because he's gay.
Well, he does
Bruce
both,
Johnson.
so I don't know.
No, he's gay. When was the last time a woman got on record that was his girlfriend?
He dated a comedian. I don't know these women comedians. I
There's
barely
such
know the male
tie-ins
comedians.
here with everything. What's the deal with the buildings on the Norton lives in Fred's building? Is that
I
right?
don't know.
Doesn't he live in Fred's building?
I don't pay that
Or
close
you used-
attention.
No,
I
no,
just
I'm
know what
telling
he
you,
takes to
there's a
for
picture.
sex.
There's a picture of that went around of Fred, Norton, Anthony, something, Florentine and Robin, and it got out. And Opie used to live in the same building, or something. I'm telling you, Norton, I think, lives in Fred's building.
Okay.
That's very important information. Don't marginalize it. The record was broken into 3 pieces. Unlistenable. I never told it. I felt so bad about the crap I gave him for not getting it years exclusive. What's that? What's John? What is that over?
I'm
I don't
not
even know
sure.
what that topic is.
Chat topic,
Okay.
I think.
Lotus Cars played a dodgy CEO who thought the Baldwins and Wiz Khalifa would somehow sell more British-built sports cars. What the hell? That's a crazy connection, Ben 4810, and welcome. I don't even know where that started from. That's a crazy. I love that rabbit hole chat with Wiz Khalifa. Oh, my Wiz Khalifa over here.
Finish your phone call.
Downey.
Right. So did you hang with Robert Downey at all during the filming?
I talk to him every once in a while. He's doing great.
Was he in jail while you made this movie?
No.
Did he have to be released? Was it in a work release program?
He was in kind of a...
Thank you. Well, Melvin hates Norton more than I do. I cannot stand Norton. Yes, Army. Totally ripped off Quinn, Bob Kelly, Baby Boy, Dim Dum, Scumbag. Oh, those are the words, right? Baby Boy, Dum Dum, Scumbag. He's a total fucking charlatan fraud. I hate him too. Thank you, Melvin. I love your endorsement for everything, especially when you endorse Angry Arm.
fine situation, but it worked out.
Have you ever seen him snort coke?
Never.
Have you ever seen him shoot heroin?
Never. I think that I'm praying to God every day that he's beyond all that. He's doing great.
Swear to God on the life of your mother that you never saw him shoot heroin.
No, I never.
Oh, you won't, will you?
Well said, Affy. Drinking is a full-time job, and it's a lot of work. Yes, it is. Not a mom, not being a mom. Drinking is the full-time job. And that's why I became a drinking coach, because it truly is a full-time. Drinking and being a drinking coach it's like moonlighting, like Bruce Willis. You're absolutely right, Affy.
Howard, I'm sober. Howard, I'm sober 9 years.
Here we go.
Steven.
Okay, so this is like 1999. The dude hasn't had a fucking drink since 1990. I guess he was 23. Who stops drinking at 23? Who? I'm begging you, Sarah. I need an answer.
I never started, so I'm waiting for the phone call.
You have had some out. What's the last time you had a drink?
I probably had like a half a glass of wine 6 years ago.
You see, that makes you better than them. I mean, they can't handle that. These guys, like they can't have.
I think it's disgusting, and I
It's
don't care if I ever drink
crazy.
again.
It's a mental illness. It's really. You're not getting my sympathy. If you quit drinking at 23 or 17, you want fucking adulation, and you get none from me. You can hire me as a drinking coach. I am not complimenting you. I could care less. I think it's just be shit. I mean, you heard the Bon Jovial story, right? He took that well into his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
You stopping at 23. You're not getting my sympathy or kudos.
Swear on the life of your mother you never saw Robert Downey Jr. shoot heroin.
I swear on the life of my mother
What?
that I never saw Robert Downey Jr. do any drugs or alcohol ever.
Enabler.
Now I've gotten listen to me. Now I've gotten phone calls from people that asked me to help out in certain situations regarding him, and you know what? I did, and I'm glad that it worked.
What does that mean? Don't be cryptic.
Melvin says Norton dated Chelsea Peretti.
I think so.
That's
I don't know.
female comedian who's like, she's a horrible, overrated. I don't know how the hell she got elevated. She probably did a Whitney Cummings. She's on that Brooklyn 599 show. I have no idea how. I think she's dating one of the guys from Peel and Kel, who's a very talented filmmaker. They're actually really talented comedians. That show is great. My nephew actually introduced me to it. Peel and Kel.
No.
Were you in an intervention?
No.
Were you one of the people who might have...
Jordan Peele. Thanks, Melvin. Jordan Peele. That's thank you, Melvin.
And you're having a tough
give him the
day,
blue
you can
balls.
call him.
Hold on a second. You wore a suit. I gotta
Okay, this Billy just walked in the room. He's gonna grab the phone and scream it right here.
go get my jacket.
What?
My brother Billy just walked in.
Oh, let me speak to that
Let's talk
guy.
to him while you get dressed.
Yeah.
All right, good, but you can't hammer him like you're hammering me.
He can handle it.
Please.
Rooster, I just started drinking at 23. That's pretty good, Rooster. That's pretty good. I mean, I started when I was pretty much legal, 21. I just couldn't be bothered chasing down the fake ID and stuff, and I was very much a hardcore runner, and I just wasn't conducive to what I was doing at the time. And I figured, when I get legal, I don't have to, and that's what I did to abide by the G Canada adherence that I'm a fucking milk and cookie boy.
Hold on.
All right.
You're on the air, Howard Stern. Who is that little punk bitch you had on the air a minute ago?
The guy who's going to kick your ass?
Please. I take you on my side. I don't need you as a ref. Forget Frank Stallone and Geraldo.
Go ahead, man. I'll fight you guys.
Let me spank that little punk bitch.
How's that
Watch
broad
that.
of yours, man? That wife of yours, she's so hot.
Excuse me, now you turn the subject. Now you're kissing my ass when you were just
I'm not
hammering
kissing
me
you.
on the air.
All right, then which are you, William or
Am
Billy?
I Billy or William? I'm searching you, my friend.
What are you, Billy or
I'm
William?
Mr. Baldwin to you.
Mr. Baldwin?
Pay your respects.
Please. I'm twice your age.
Listen.
Are you William
You know
or
what the
Baldwin?
guy's problem is?
I mean, are you William?
Howard's interesting how he's Billy's actually, let me see, Howard's 9 years older than Billy is. Billy's Depp's age, exactly Depp's age, 1963.
This isn't a very Christ-like tone of voice he has.
Billy?
Yeah.
He's got like a little tremble in his. He's very. I think he feels emasculated. I think he feels, and it's tough. To his credit, it is hard to hear yourself on a show like that at its peak in terms of probably listeners. Someone just eviscerating you on it's tough. I wouldn't want to hear that.
But I would watch him spank you. That's all I got to say. Okay.
William or Billy?
Let me just say something.
Now you're making me nuts. Billy.
Let me just say something.
Now you're making me nuts.
Let me just tell you that. Let me just tell you that last guy's problem.
Yeah.
I stand for, I represent, I am symbolic of everything in his life that is a failure. Because he looks at me.
He's right. I got turned down for backdraft. I was third in line. I didn't
Now I got to see you in a fireman's outfit.
And he sees the tall, good-looking in his life.
This is where Billy comes off horrible. He starts to brag, and again, to his, like, I'm not defending him, but he's trying to just, like, and you pull the jealousy thing out. I mean, the power of this show at that time was I was getting calls from people I hadn't heard from in a decade.
Of course.
Who
Yeah.
heard that? It was crazy. I'm like, what?
When
I didn't quite realize the power of the show in the late 90s.
When you auditioned for Backdraft, you thought it was something else, though, right? So that's why you didn't get it.
Yeah. And Flatliners too. So I got beaten out by him in Flatliners.
Sliver.
Yeah, Sliver, of course.
Thank God.
I represent, I am symbolic of everything in his life that is a failure. Because he looks at me and he sees a tall, good-looking young guy who's successful, makes a lot of money, who's got a lot of power, who's intelligent, and who clearly, throughout his entire life, sits like 5 rows behind me when I'm courtside at the Knicks game looking at the back of my head.
So he says a Nick reference, and that sent me into a tizzy. Like, I'm listening. So I'm listening to this. So I'm back in bed, and I'm staring up at the sky, ceiling, and I'm listening to this enraged, and I grab the phone, like, right
I would
here.
have watched that too.
And I hear that Nick reference, and I think of every poser Nick fan that ever got created in the Pat Riley 90s. You know, the celebrityization of the fucking Knicks and that awful Death Star that I call Madison Square Garden that was created, and all these posers started showing up, and the celebrity culture going to the. I went to a Knick game in the late 80s when it was, Rory Sparrow and James Bailey, and I was 15 years old, and you can go $20, and the Knicks weren't hateable back then, but he made them hateable. So I hear that Knick thing, and I grab the phone.
Right. Now,
And he's some like sorry ass New Jersey Nets fan who sits up in the nickel.
so you are saying that you are a successful man, despite what he said.
I am. You answer that, Howard.
Right. And
That's Kyle the Sierra Alpha. Ha, Billy calling Arm a punk bitch is the greatest thing ever. Must have laughed. It really was the 15 minutes they talk about. That's a Bon Jovial sound drop, I think, if there ever was one, Kyle.
I fear if I was like your roommate in a house or whatever in an apartment, I would drill a hole in the wall that we shared just so I could
They were all
peek
Stern
through
fans.
the
Like, they
wall
were
at
all-
you
it was-
doing this.
Oh, okay. One of the things I got caught doing, and I had 2 really good friends or roommates.
Oh God.
They heard me cackling. Just another David moment. So it's like 7:30 in the morning. Mark Harris was on, and you just hear. So I'm like half asleep. I kind of wake up, that half of sleep thing, and I hear Mark Harris come on, and I just hear, "Dear President Clinton, oh, you say you're so presidential, but to me, you're only resident." And so I'm cackling. I wake up from a and I'm cackling at Mark Harris, and they hear me in the other room, and I come out to go to the bathroom. Go, you just cackling to Mark Harris? And then I recorded it and played it again, because Howard would go to those 25-minute breaks. And so I recorded, I hit, I had a tape at all times in the radio, and I would just slam the record button.
Mm-hmm.
When Mark Harris is one of those times, it always went.
The one that was bitching about my 7 figures per picture, right?
that's right. I am
Gross.
bitching about that.
Right. Well, how many people in Hollywood make 7 figures per picture?
Not many.
Huh?
All right. So you're saying to that guy, he is a loser and you are a winner.
Please, Howard, come on. You're the way. Let me put it in your terms.
Let me ask you
Howard.
something.
Howard, let me put it in your terms.
Go ahead.
Cindy Crawford, Sharon Stone, Julia Roberts. Come on.
Did you
Am I
have-
a winner or a loser?
What were you
Am I
doing
a
with
success or
what
not,
movie
Howard?
was it? What
I'm
movie were you
speaking
in with
your
Julia
terms.
Roberts?
I'm speaking on your terms.
A fireman and a cowboy walk into a bedroom. That's Kurt Russell, Melvin. We said that last week. Backdraft and Tombstone.
What movie were you in with Julia Roberts?
Flatliners.
Let me ask you a question.
Am I? In
Did
your
you
book, Howard,
bang?
am I a success or not?
Yes, you are.
Thank
Did you
you very
bang?
much, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you
America,
bang?
you heard it live on the air.
Oh, Babster Rush with a reference of my falling out of bed. I did not fall out of the bed this week, Babs. I did not. This is
Progress.
the first week. Yeah, a little bit of. I don't know why. I really don't. I think I got up earlier than I wanted to and moved to a couch or something. But I did not fall out of the bed this week. Bad dreams, but didn't fall out of the bed.
Maybe your routine is helping.
What's that?
The appointments that you discussed at one point.
Therapy? I don't think that's
maybe.
changing me falling out of. Not yet. There's no
Maybe.
way it's that.
Did you bang Julia Roberts?
Huh?
Did you bang Julia Roberts?
Well, I don't want to talk about.
By the way, Julia Roberts dated Pat Menachia. I
Mhm.
think I'm the only one that knows this. In the Julia Roberts saga, which I have not fully put together. That was the thing I told you about where I got to the 95% and a computer crashed and I
Mhm.
lost hours and days of work putting that together. It wasn't just her interview. It was like a series of stuff. Like I'd gone through every show and you couldn't look up every moment. I listened and I kind of threw it together. And through that, I found out that Howard's fucking trainer, Pat Menachie, had dated Julia Roberts at some point, which is so bizarre. Arm laying in bed, tent popped.
That's what I would be peeking at through the wall.
Reaches for landline phone speed. That's exactly what it was.
It probably cast a shadow over the wall, though, and I couldn't see.
And Julia on live on the air. I'll tell you about that some other time.
Okay.
She's an old friend of mine.
All right, so you're implying that you did?
Yeah.
No. But she's a very old, close personal friend.
Was she your girlfriend for a while?
Well,
Years ago.
She was?
She was.
But you had her.
Oh.
Guys, I don't talk about that.
All right, let me ask you another question then.
I don't go there.
When you worked with Cindy Crawford, could you believe how dumb she was?
Let me tell you something. This woman was...
Oh, here you go.
The fact
Here you go.
Fact,
Don't tell me she's...
valedictorian of her high school.
Well, just for you, A. Smith.
Hey, faggot, why don't you come down to Detroit? We'll make a man out of you.
Oh, really? Well, why don't you just buy me a car and forget it?
You made me choke by saying that word. I was drinking tea on mute.
Oh, you have your tea. Melvin wants another tea count.
3.
3. Oh, wow. What is it? 40 ounces?
Yeah, probably.
I need a bigger bed. Gina Bobina with a Jaws reference. No, it's not that, Gina. It doesn't matter what the bed size is. I'm on the side of it because I'm trying to work the radio. I can't sleep in the middle because I'm always playing around with I can't not have the radio on in the background. So I'm playing with I'm always fiddling with. So it's got to be on that, the bed stand and bullshit. It's a whole thing.
I don't care. I don't believe that.
Chemical engineering major at
Oh,
Northwestern
that's
University.
a lie.
That's the truth.
That's
You can declare a major in anything.
Our major is makeup.
You guys are way off about that. I'm telling you, you should.
Did you have sex with Cindy Crawford? Answer the question.
Such an adversarial.
Did you have sex with Cindy Crawford? Yes or no?
Oh, absolutely not.
Did you date her?
No. Old friends, but never dated.
Welcome, G Canada. Hashtag Vindicate Amber. Hashtag Herd Husbands Unite. Hashtag G Canada. What was the thing you had to crack me up last week? You said Amber is Arm is stupid, or Amber is smarter than Arm, or I can't remember how you phrased it. It really cracked me up. We made some. I don't even know what brought that. I forget what even brought that on. But he had another really funny. And I saw your G Canada, and we're negotiating and trying to have you come on as the perfect show to sit in with. It's coming. I promise you, sir.
Old friends.
But I'll tell you,
Why aren't you talking to Alec?
It was the truest.
Why are you not talking to Alec Baldwin, your brother?
Oh, what's that all about?
Here it is, Sarah. This is it.
Okay, good.
Hashtag Amber's IQ higher.
Finally.
Because we were disparaging her intelligence, and he, of course, is white knighting for defending her honor, as a great herd husband would. She's lucky to have you, G Canada. Not that, just like Depp. She's more lucky to have you.
Oh, what is that all about?
What is that all about?
That's the truth.
I wasn't at the Clinton thing because I was on vacation with my wife. I got back here a couple days.
Everyone was on vacation.
Yeah, he sent everybody out of town.
Let me ask you a question. Is it not true that you took over the running of this organization that Alec founded, and he's unhappy with what you're doing with it, and you are not talking with one of them?
Absolutely not. I've already made this organization, taken it to the next level. I mean, we're doing fantastic work. When is the last time you spoke to your brother, Alec Baldwin? When he called me to make sure I wasn't going to be able to come in from where I was on vacation.
Howard's playing on gossip at the time that the Baldwin brothers hated each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alec wasn't speaking to his other brothers. Like he had elevated himself, or there was he was toying. Remember, like every year Alec Baldwin would toy with running for office. And so that was part of the Clinton,
of course,
what
a
the
nightmare.
Clinton reign. And he was very, very politically, not that he's not now, but then he was actually toying with running for office. He would constantly float these fucking unsubstantiated bullshit rumors he was gonna, and he loved it. He loved the attention, and then pretended he did, and would go away and come back.
How many months ago was that?
It was 2 days before the Clinton event, and then he went to Africa. Otherwise, I would have spoken to him probably 2 or 3 times since then.
Are you willing to take a lie detector test?
Oh, no.
Where is your wife? Where is your wife, China Phillips, right now?
She's probably listening to your show, and she's probably getting aroused listening to yours and my voice.
Right. All right. You've answered all the questions. Yes.
My mother's here. Would you like to speak to her?
Okay, you hear Stuttering John come in there?
Yep.
So it's hard to tell because he tries to interrupt. So I'm on hold again to yell at Billy. So John's trying to tell Howard, and they gloss over it.
Yes.
My mother's here. Would you like to speak to her?
Our intern has a story about Billy that.
Oh, okay. Here's an intern who has a story about this.
Who's this guy? Go ahead. Let me hear the intern.
What is your name?
My name.
So an intern had a story about Billy too, where he.
I want to hear your call.
I'm coming right after this. It's a lot. There's a lot going on.
It's Eric.
All right, Eric. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Baldwin. William Billy.
All right. Is this going to be a very unflattering?
So this guy tells a story about this guy tells a story about how he was at a Knick game, and the fans were just harassing him and I think Alec, and there was a fight that almost happened and had to be broken up. So I come on after this guy. So let me just
story.
It could be.
All right.
Looking at the back of Billy's head. No.
Well, no, we saw Billy. There was a lot of celebrities there. We were down.
Okay, go ahead.
And we saw him, and Billy was getting harassed by all these people behind him. They wanted to kick the crap.
Why? Why would you want to do that? Billy's a nice guy.
They were calling him a pretty boy. Do you remember this?
This was at the Garden?
This was at the Garden.
Or was this because I almost had a fight with a guy at a New Jersey at a Net game, but
yeah, that's exactly what it was.
It was the Knick game.
Okay, the reason I play this is because Billy thinks I'm that guy. He thinks I went to a Knick game and I'm the guy yelling at him. So he thinks that I'm the same guy calling into Howard. But I mean, it's understandable. He thinks, oh, this guy has some vendetta. So he thinks
there's one guy that doesn't like Billy Baldwin.
Right. He thinks it's the only guy on the planet. That's exactly right.
You travel around, right, looking for him?
Yeah, but this was out in Jersey. This was not at the Garden.
So they were calling him a pretty boy.
No,
calling him a pretty boy. He was shaking. He was.
I was behind. I'll tell you what that was about. This was in Jersey at the Net game when the Knicks were playing the Nets out in Jersey. Toe to toe, and they pulled us apart.
Let me ask you something. Are you a man or a woman?
Let me tell you something, Howard.
Yeah.
You know better than me. What happens if I smack this guy in the face in front of?
You would get sued.
I'm doing my next 5 pictures. And it's going right into this guy's,
Was it a very big guy that he was shaking over?
It was pretty big.
It was a big guy.
All right, big guy. What was his name? Vito or something?
Vito. No, I would call him Vito because he looked like a little gorilla. He had a neck that was wider than his ears.
Billy, that guy.
Okay, I'm on. He's about to bring me on, but Billy gets off the phone and Howard has Steven grabs the phone from him and they have to rearrange again. It's weird.
Vito.
Billy, that guy is on the phone. The guy who's
he didn't like how ugly I kept saying his wife was either.
The guy is on the phone who wanted to fight you.
This guy, your intern, was not in close enough proximity.
Oh, my mom came over and gave you a
Arm, is that you?
Let me ask your intern this. Pussy boy, what's going on? Let me ask your intern this. When I went toe to toe with that guy, did I go toe to toe or not? Did I back down to that guy?
Did he back down or did he go toe to toe?
I think he backed down.
You think he backed down?
See how he's going crazy about it?
So Howard's lowering my volume, so you could hear me go up and down. It's very frustrating because I went back and listened, and I'm going, wait a minute. I said I haven't seen Nepotism that bad since Randy's Spelling, and it was completely cut from the. I remember screaming, I haven't seen Nepotism that bad with you since Randy's Spelling, and I was very proud of that line, and it was cut, and I go, oh, so that was when I first knew that like I had. Sort of personal evidence that Howard like lowered the volume, like he would raise your volume so you couldn't and cut stuff. It was weird, but I mean, most of it's in there, but a lot of it is he will, and again, I mean, if you're screaming over each other, I guess he has to try to do that.
Right now, it's obviously stuck in his head because my parents saw him at a charity event like a month later.
Right.
My mom went up to him and he still remembered the incident and he still remembered my mom for coming over and telling him to calm down.
All right.
There's proof right there. Did your mother come over and tell me to calm down?
Yes, she did.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so he's
because you were crying.
Oh. Hey, Billy, on the phone is that guy when you
hold on. Hey,
when you were listening, who's this?
It's Steven. Listen, we got to listen. We got to go. My mom wants to say hi. Can you say hi?
No, let me get your brother back on. That guy Arm is on the phone.
Piece of business.
Arm,
hold on.
All right.
Hey, Pussy boy, what's going on? Okay, where is this little bitch ass?
What a pretentious a-hole you are. Denigrating Nets fans? Why don't you alienate New Jersey?
Excuse me. You're the one that got on the air and you said it, mouth it off, punk.
Your films could not be more repulsive. How do you make a living doing the crap? You're the worst actor. You know what you are?
Tell me this.
You're the anti-Johnny Depp.
Tell me this. Thank you very much. That's a compliment.
Johnny Depp is great about you.
I thank you for that.
In what
Listen,
world?
did you read the New York Times and did you read New York Magazine and have you read the New Yorker?
Yeah,
Do you read?
Yeah.
You have a college education?
Absolutely.
Where'd you go to school?
Baldwin State.
Oh.
Baldwin State. Yeah.
I wouldn't announce that.
That ain't so good.
Can we fight in Massapequa? Because I think I have more fans.
Arm, let me tell you something about Billy. At least, as he says, he's making millions of dollars.
I don't care about money.
And getting to co-star with beautiful
And in co-star...
I throw private parts in Howard's face here, but it's kind of muffled. I say, what do you care about money? Private parts only made $41 million internationally or something, but you can only hear the 41 million.
Howard, let me ask you something. Your fans are going to be really upset with me for defending myself, but let me ask you, Howard.
Go ahead.
Did you ever see Internal Affairs?
Yes.
Howard, did you ever see Internal Affairs?
Yeah.
Is that with Cindy Crawford?
No.
Oh.
Robin, have you ever seen
It's a
Internal
great
Affairs?
movie. It's a great movie.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
You loved it.
Great
Okay.
in
Did you ever see Backdraft?
Oh, yeah.
Did you like that?
I like that, too.
Johnny Depp turned it down, and then you got it.
No, Matt Dillon turned it down.
Johnny Depp turned it down.
No, so what are you, a Hollywood insider?
That is a fact. That is a fact.
I know
That
that.
is a fact. When Depp in the 90s, they used to rattle off.
You hit him
all the
hard with
films
that
he were-
one.
I know I did.
That shattered his soul.
All of a sudden?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
You know what you sound
Let
like?
me tell you something.
Another one of those frustrated.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
You know what you down.
Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like that?
I like that, too.
Johnny Depp turned it down, and then you got it.
No, Matt Dillon turned it down.
Johnny Depp turned it down.
No, so what are you, a Hollywood insider all of a sudden?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
You know what you sound
Let
like?
me tell you something.
Another one of those frustrated actors who can't even take my sloppy second.
Hey, Billy, let me tell you something. If you bang Julia Roberts, you could be in police academy. I consider you successful.
Let me ask this guy something. Hold on a second, Howard.
Go ahead.
Nice joke, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie's going nuts writing jokes here. I didn't even realize that's such a Jackie, and you hear Jackie cackling to it. In the
Of
background.
course.
How tall is this guy? Does he want to do some stand-in work for me? Maybe I might be able to get him. I might be able to throw him a bone.
Arm, how tall are you?
I might be able to throw him a couple scraps.
Shut up, you pussy.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. Extra work and standing work. Extra work and standing work. That's good money. About $100 a day. About $100 a day. I get you a little standing work.
Billy, shut up.
And you know what? If you're a little bit too short, I can put you on an apple box because they could get you at the height that I'm at. I'm 6'2". And 195.
Did you talk over Cindy Crawford?
We could beef you up a little bit and put you on an apple box so you could be my stand-in. I
need
could
to
get you
write
$1.25 a day, actually.
I'm 5'10" in my pants.
5 foot, yeah.
Yep.
So listen, do you need a little help? You don't have your Screen Actors Guild card? You want me to help get in the union or get an agent, get a manager? Obviously, you're having wet dreams about it.
You hear me say I haven't seen Nepotism that bad. I'm all muted.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
all-
That's
Howard's
the
muting
Get a
me.
manager? Obviously, you're having wet dreams about it.
Let me ask you something. Billy, do you get a lot of this where there are jealous people of you?
Well, there you go, Howard. Thank you, Dr. Freud. It's about time you chimed in here.
Right, all right.
I'm the
Okay.
anti-Johnny Depp. Thank you.
All right, listen, Billy, you got to go back to your life and somehow pick up the pieces.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, it's a disaster. It's a wreck. By the way, I got a picture at the Venice Film Festival in January, and I got a picture with Jamie Lee and Donald Sutherland coming out in January.
Let me tell you
And I'm
about that.
to start another picture in a couple of weeks.
We wish you the best, and also that guy on the phone sounded almost as jealous as Steven. You know what I mean?
Good joke, Jackie.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
That guy sounded a little bit more hostile, though.
Give my love to your beautiful wife, China.
See, he said I need a little help. I sound too hostile. That's a Melvin affirmation.
Yeah, he definitely needs
I
a
will,
writer in his
please.
life.
I will.
He's
Hold
gonna
on,
be
hold
on
on.
these
Thank you.
shows.
Yes, Lauren. Alec is a good comedic actor. He's way better as a supporting actor or character actor than leading man. Couldn't agree more. Billy is to Alec as Joseph is to Ray Fiennes. Popular for a quick minute, but poor. Well, beautiful comparison, Lauren. Spot the F on. I think Casey Affleck and Ben for a while, but Casey Affleck seems to have passed him by somewhat, or it's close. Joaquin Phoenix and River, right? Joaquin Phoenix's River wishes he had Joaquin's career.
Joaquin
Wishes he
Phoenix.
You rose like a Joaquin Phoenix, Lauren Murray.
Do you have a do you have a breeze in your room? I know it's
Yeah.
okay.
So that call, and I'll play it next time. I don't have it queued up. That call got nominated for Best Celebrity Fight.
Yeah,
And they played it. I lost. It was Howard against Dice. Corey Feldman, the Feld Dog, Gino Bobina's favorite actor, against his father, or Chauncey, maybe Chauncey against Corey Feldman, which I think won, and Rodney Dangerfield against Jackie.
You were robbed.
Those are the nominees. I was robbed. No, I shouldn't have won. I thought Howard and Dice was the best fight.
Do you have 2 nominations?
No,
I thought you had 2.
just that. I don't know. It was crazy. I didn't, because I'm not obviously a celebrity, so they didn't know. There was no way I could win, because how would they contact me?
I thought you had a nomination for the Flutie call.
No. I like that one though, but that was just so, it was a minute, and there was this one. It was this one.
All right, you ready to
Yeah.
plow?
What do you wanna do the Aquaman 2 story?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So Aquaman 2 is delayed again. And I've been ranting about this on this show. I don't know, Sarah, what, 10 times about this thing came out in December of 2018, the biggest DC movie ever, and still the sequel has not hit the fucking screens yet.
You've been ranting for 3 years that the sequel
Shit,
should be out.
I gotta change. I gotta find the other folder. Damn it.
Okay.
All
right. Don't worry about it. I saw the funniest meme. Somebody did a Photoshop. It was on Twitter today. I should have sent it to you so you could pull it up. But it's a picture of Jason Momoa on the red carpet, finally attending the Aquaman 2 premiere. And his beard is white and his hair is white. It was rather funny.
It was from today?
Yeah, they posted it.
Well, one thing I'm getting completely tired of is the Jason Momoa clickbait stories on these grifter YouTube channels.
Well, it draws the women
Oh my
in.
God, are you tired of that or what?
I rarely even click on any of those other channels because I know what I need to know. They're not teaching me anything new.
If I'm Jason Momoa, I would seriously consider a lawsuit against YouTube. I mean, all they do is quote him. They make up quotes interviews he never had, feuds he's not in. I think he's the most defamed personality, and because of Amber Heard, by the way, because it's all interwoven to the Depp Heard stuff and the drama of Aquaman 2. Sarah, every time I go on my YouTube feed, there's a Jason Momoa quote or interview or feud he's not in that they make. It's crazy, and it gets like views.
I know, tens of thousands of views.
Oh,
I know.
Stupid is everyone.
It's gross.
Deadline and Anthony D'Alessandro. Aquaman 2 heads to Christmas 2023. Shazam! Fury of the Gods goes to March. Exclusive. Deadline has learned that Warner Brothers is making a slew of release date changes next year. First of all, James Wan's Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom needs more time in post-production, so it's moving from March 17th, December 23, to December 25th, 2023. Remember, the first Aquaman was released during Christmas 2018. It made $335 million domestic, and worldwide is one of 2 $1 billion grossing DC picks, along with Todd Phillips' Joker, to backfill that March 17th space, and also to capitalize on an Avatar-less March. David F. Sandberg, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, will be moving off its December 21st release date and heading to Aquaman 2's old date. Read, look how great The Batman was with its March opening at $134 million. Another thing, Shazam 2 will have access to IMAX screens on its new date, a premium ticket format that Disney will otherwise be sopping up this December with Avatar: The Way of Water. Okay, so now telling us December 23rd, this is now the 5th delay, and I have gone over this. Is crazy. I knew something was amiss when I told you during the San Diego Comic-Con. They should have had a trailer for that last year. They didn't have one this year. And the first thing, and it's amazing too, I've gone over all the kind of mainstream online publications that reported this story. None of them bring up Amber Heard and the Depp drama during it as a possible reason, for doing it. And
they're still afraid to go there. That's the problem. Even after that verdict, they don't want to piss the wrong group of people, Twitter warriors off.
Well, I just read from Deadline, and Deadline is the pro Amber Heard. They had that guy,
Mhm.
Dominic Patton, who's a Deadline journalist who was a complete axe to grind with Depp. He was dropping all, and I actually owe Deadline because Deadline was responsible for so many of the obscure transcripts that we read from that we couldn't find, from his friends and family members that owe him money to all the weird, hard to get transcripts. Deadline, but they only released it because they wanted to eviscerate Depp.
Mhm.
Deadline hates Depp. Newsweek hates Depp. Hollywood Reporter and Variety all wrote, and I don't use the fucking phrase hit piece because that's just, I'm so tired. If you're not, when someone doesn't, an article doesn't kiss your ass, it's a hit piece. Like the Rolling Stone piece that you and I both love was considered a hit piece, but it's not a hit piece.
It's a
You
moment in
read that.
time.
It's a moment in time. The guy reported on what he saw. That was his job. Depp and Adam Waldman chose Rolling Stone because it's a Thompson friendly public who Thompson worked for. That's why they chose it.
Yeah.
And if he didn't kiss his ass the whole time, it's a hit piece. And unfortunately, that article got taken on a life of its own, and so many different online publications had drafted on that article, cherry picking moments from it to write because it was so strong. That's how you know
Mhm.
something's so strong, when other publications grift off the one article and steal, 3 paragraphs, or they just cherry pick, and it had so much mileage. It was so, and we still haven't done a show on it.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe we
I
could do
said
that next
last
weekend.
time.
I gotta voice it over, and then we could do it next weekend. The
Yeah, we can
Rolling
do
Stone
that.
piece by
Yeah.
Stephen Roderick. Michael Frazia, welcome. Smithtown's own, home of the guy who pretended he was a 9/11 who wasn't. Steve Ranazzisi. How much you want to bet Michael Frazia and his tattoos are friends with Steve Ranazzisi from the League? Remember, he pretended he was in 9/11, Sarah, that the building was collapsing
Yeah.
and ran. That's the funniest. I
Asshole.
like my story of how I was at the Pentagon when it happened
Yeah.
better than that. And I hold to that too. And I'm not backing off of it. I was at the Pentagon when 9/11 happened, and on the Pittsburgh flight after that.
Yeah. How did you
I
do
took
that?
down the attacker in the Pittsburgh flight. I was one of the people who
Perfect.
tackled him.
Perfect. Thank you. Didn't
I
quite
did
work, but
I did a chicken wing on the attacker, and I flipped him over, and somebody created like a bridge on the bottom, and I flipped him over into the drink cart. I was on the Pittsburgh flight, and I was
God.
in the Pentagon. But Michael Frazia, welcome. I was always hoping you would catch us live, and I'm glad you did, sir. Smithtown Zone, like I said, the
He's close
home
enough
of
to being
the
live.
Seaver family, Sarah. My dream occupation, if I had to do it all over again, would be I'd be Jason Seaver from Growing Pains. I would have the psychologist, the therapist office on the side of the house, like he did.
That was always weird to me.
Show me that
Yeah,
smile.
you taking my compliment off the screen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep.
You got to read it out
Michael
loud.
writes, I'm back at the beginning, so I'll bow out of the comments. Sarah's honesty about the WNBA is why I like her and why I come here. She marches to her own drummer. No fake shit here, guys. You guys are great. Thank you, Michael.
Feel
Sarah,
free.
he loves you, but
And I love him.
he loves throwing those compliments every chat. He
He's
is a
my
huge
YouTube comrade.
Sarah-phile.
But feel free to stay in the chat live as we go along here. I will take a compliment at any point in the show.
Stupid. Remember WNBA when they first came out? They were using all
Ooh.
these girl power songs on commercials, like "Stupid Girl."
So,
Ah.
it's so try hard.
We got next. That was the mantra. We got
And
next.
in regards again to his compliment, there's enough of that shit where you have to guard yourself. There's enough shows that have to do that, feel that they're slaves for the ad, the 60 cents, the 66 cents in ad revenue from YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be myself. I'm not going to go overboard, but if we have to, we'll be on Patreon.
You hate all women too. I mean,
I
you
don't hate all
definitely
women. I just
you
hold them
hate
to a higher
most.
standard because I know
Yeah.
better.
Okay, I'll buy that. That's well said. You hold, so the real story is you hold women to a higher standard because they claim to be at a higher standard. or you're tired of you looking bad compared to other women like Amber Heard. Is that what you're
Yes,
driving
correct.
at? Okay.
I don't
You
want
you don't play the victim.
weird guy outside my window. Hold on.
What? Who are you? Who's that? Melissa Etheridge
I think
over
he left.
there?
Okay. No, he's carrying a cat. Too close for comfort. It was creepy. Anyway, okay.
Maybe it was Monroe. Do you have a gay neighbor? Too close for comfort?
I don't think he looks young.
Was it Jim J.
Anyway,
Bullock?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. I know how my brain works. I know how capable I am of manipulating any man or whoever
I
to
hate
make
men.
myself look like a victim. I'm not saying we're not victims. Women are victims. Not every woman is a victim. There we go.
Off he goes. First of all, Aquaman is blonde. He has what they call, what is it, Sarah? Frosted tips? Is that the like fucking Todd Pettengill?
Yeah, it's so
His
ridiculous.
hair is like, it's kind of blonde if you see it in a certain light, Affy. But I agree. One of Aquaman's lineage is the blonde hair. I want full blonde hair. So I
Mhm.
think, I don't know what WB's rationalization is behind that. Maybe they don't want him to look too much like Chris Hemsworth's Thor. So they're trying to make it as, what does it say? Frosted tips. That's the Momoa hair.
Yeah, it's weird. You got to get past that though if you're going to enjoy those movies. I mean, it is ridiculous.
But they claim it's blonde. I mean, he was writing, an Instagram. I'm gonna go blonde again. So
Well,
that's their version. It's got
not
like a
even
cool factor.
mention the palest woman on the planet, Nicole Kidman, and this white guy with black hair make Jason Momoa
Yeah.
a Samoan child.
How is that? That's a good point. How is that the offspring?
Who somehow swims at top speed in leather pants through the ocean?
I hated that.
I
They put
enjoyed
it.
it.
That's so right. That's for the broads. That's for the Game of Thrones broads.
Exactly.
That's for the fat
Will you
thing.
do me a favor before we move on? Will you say permission to come aboard in your Aquaman voice?
Oh God, what has it go? It goes. Permission to come aboard.
Oh, I'm done. I just finished.
I like that. I thought that was a good line. He had a great subtle sarcasm. He pokes fun at that corny ocean sea movies where they say permission to come aboard and
Yeah.
they're earnest about it. I thought that was a really good line. I thought it was delivered well. I love the tongue-in-cheek subtle sarcasm of that line. Permission to come aboard.
Mm.
And he turns around and he's I mean, it was a similar scene to the beginning of Captain America Winter Soldier when he goes on the Omarion Star and he just cleans house of all of Batroc's goons. It had a similar feeling to that.
Yeah. I cherish the Voxer recording you sent me of you saying that.
Did I
It will
do
never
that?
be deleted. Yeah, a long time ago.
Permission to come aboard.
And the answer is yes. The hatch is open.
So now we have the #1 DC moneymaker of all time. DC, and again, the Joker movie is not in the same continuity. By the way, did you know Alec Baldwin turned down to play Thomas Wayne in that movie, the Joker movie?
No.
And he actually had a really good point. He said that the Thomas Wayne in the Joker movie, I don't know if everybody saw the Joker movie, is kind of a real prick to Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in the bathroom.
Okay.
And Alec's point was he's like, I just felt the real Thomas Wayne would not do that in the bathroom. So I turned the script down. And he shouldn't have turned it down. I think he could have turned it. But I thought Alec, if you know anything about Batman's dad, Thomas Wayne, he was like a really good guy. And there's no way his characterization, he would do that in that bathroom and be such a prick to a guy he was really a defender of they donated to the poor. They had a huge charity in Gotham. So there's no way. And I totally agree with Alec. I wish he took it. And I think he would have been the ultimate Batman in the 90s.
I agree. That would have been perfect.
36-year-old Alec Baldwin is Bruce Wayne, lock, stock, and barrel.
Yep. So the working theory here is this delay.
Give me your opinion on the Amber Heard stuff. And
okay, this is what I think. I'm 100% sure this is accurate. They are still testing the waters to see what the backlash is going to be in full.
Yes.
They also are maybe preparing a second and third edited version of the movie in case the rumors are true. The rumor is she's in it for like 2 minutes,
Well, Sarah,
and
how do you not have a trailer ready for San Diego
because they
Comic
don't know
Con?
what they're going to present yet.
Right, but it's been 5 years, and they claim the movie was done a year ago, and then you
Yeah.
don't have a trailer ready for San Diego Comic Con.
They don't
That's
know
insane.
what to play.
They don't know what to play exactly.
They can't play the Amber Heard version and then release in theaters the Heardless version, because that will just like, they don't want to offend the feminists by throwing, gasoline on the flames of this victim woman who was wronged in a trial.
Gina
So they
Bobina,
have to be sure of the route they're going to take.
Casey Armstrong should be Aquaman. Gina, did you know Casey was a lifeguard in the summer at Port Jefferson beaches? It's like the Long Island Sound.
Tiger Lily
Uh,
has pictures.
and he did that during the Stern show. They were paying him so little that he had the lifeguard in the summer.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's a true story.
Hmm.
And then why not 68? David was on the Titanic.
He was the maestro of the band.
That's Arm at the Pentagon, classic. There's Bon
Mhm.
Jovial. Bon Jovial, these little sneak attacks. Again, something I had to run by him. It's bugging. It's been on my mind the whole show. I had some fucking music question for him, and it was a technical thing, and I needed his opinion, and I can't remember. Fuck. When we do that show with him, we got to go over P, the band he was in with Gibby Haynes and Flea and Sal Jenko, his
Okay.
old band, The Kids, before he was famous, the Rock City Angels, and we got to go over the music with Bon Jovial's opinion. Ben, thank you, Ben. Show me that smile again.
Show me that smile.
Nice harmonies.
I'm old enough.
Don't take another
Don't waste
minute
another.
on your crying. Where can we need? I always thought Alan Thicke sang that song, and
I did.
Joanna Kern
I
sang
did
that.
too.
Didn't it sound like it?
It
Did Alan
I was
Thicke
young
sing?
enough to have the fantasy that they were singing. That was my favorite show for a long time. I loved Kirk Cameron.
How about who's the biggest star from that show? We won't talk about it. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm-hmm.
Was he on one season?
Yeah, very disturbing
Oh, I know
behind
what
the
you're
scenes video.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that's so Sarah's talking about this acting coach turned pedophile,
Brian Peck.
Brian Peck. There's footage of him on an E special about
Yeah, it
growing
was an E
pains.
behind the scenes special. You got to think, even at the time, the person filming this or the producer of this segment has to look at this and be creeped out by it.
Yeah, how do you not notice that in the moment?
But then at the same time, it came out later, all of these producers, or most of these producers of that show, were pedophiles.
And he's giving him a reach around in the actual video. Right, he's hugging him from behind, suggestively, and then just
He's like all over him, and he's a
just
kid.
dry humping him.
He's like, oh, Leonardo looks, it's just, and his tone is just so seductive and disgusting. And Leonardo's like, oh my God.
See, that's one thing with DiCaprio that I just don't relate to. He's a classic product of. He's a kid actor. He's not like a product of his own. So he's a fucking, the whole thing. Kid roles, kid actor. Never really lived a real life. Never had a real job of any kind. Never had a paper route. Never had. He's just one of those, charmed life. He's a real.
I think he's been through a lot more than he'll ever admit to. Just by
I do
looking at
too.
that video, it's horrifying.
Do you remember the Pussy Posse?
No.
So this was the thing in the late 90s, I think. And I think this was the thing, New York Magazine. It was not They Get Pussy. I think it was These Are Pussies hanging out together.
Oh, is
these are a
this
bunch
like
of like man-child she-boys hanging out together with
what was the kid? Tobey
Tobey
Maguire.
Maguire. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I know the group. Yeah.
A bunch of, I can't remember there's like 6 of them. And some of them aren't around anymore. And I think that Marta turned me on to that the Soel Moonfry documentary, and they go into those guys a little bit in that thing. They cover the Pussy Pot. Not, they don't say that, but a lot of those names, Balthazar, Getty, these people.
Yeah. Took up valuable real estate in my Tiger Beat.
Who, my Balthazar Getty over here?
Him and Ben Savage and Fred Savage.
Did Fred Savage just get another Me Too?
I don't know. I don't pay
A
attention to
pretty
him.
big time one.
I don't pay attention.
It was a legit story. I read it the other day. Apparently, this is like not the first one. He raped someone in a bathroom. Apparently,
Allegedly.
allegedly, right? I love the allegedly word.
Yeah.
Thank you, Star Jones. Okay,
We just
what am
came
I?
off a trial where some false accusations were thrown around, so I'll be nice in that situation.
So now with Aquaman, so now see, I question the power of what are the percentage of Depp fans that would even affect Aquaman or see the first in 2018 when it came out the first time, she already had a gaggle of the same haters. So
Yeah.
what effect did this petition have then on the movie? And the key to the whole thing with the petition is bullshit because the key is to sign the petition but never actually execute what you're claiming to do in the petition. You know what I mean? You're not going to actually boycott the movie. It's the key is to just sign the petition and pretend that you're going to boycott the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to prove you're actually doing that? And what
Yeah.
percentage of Depp fans are even seeing Aquaman? That it could even move the needle at the box office.
Yeah. I saw the most cringe tweet today about it might have been the person that started that petition, but she was like, "Here we are, guys. Here we're in like 5th place right now, and it's a list of all the most popular petitions right now. All of all the petitions above the Depp petition were like black crime victims, victims of police brutality. They're like, let's get this up to number 1." She got so much shit from even the Depp fans about why are you saying this Depp situation is more important than these police brutality victims petitions? So I kind of agree with the pushback
Well,
she got on that.
it's this kind of the generation who aren't really fans of him that just latched on to the trial for
Yeah,
the
they don't have a
salaciousness of it.
grasp
Yeah,
of anything else
they're
happening right
trying to
now.
lump it in with all these other causes, and they don't know what to do with it.
He's the biggest victim in the world right now, and we have to protect him at all costs. And
And if
there
that
are
works,
other things
he will
happening.
marry you.
Yeah.
A single debt. See, this is why I want Depp to be settled down with a broad who's age appropriate, I might add, because I want to ruin the illusion or the delusion to these broads that they have a shot at him.
Yeah.
As ridiculous as that ever even is, I want him to be set. I want him to get married so they can shut up. That they don't have that
Well, you know what happened
this
last time?
that because that really fuels all that. They
Before we
really
even
think they have a shot at him. They really
before
do.
we even knew anything about her, she had a hate blog already set up, and that was a very active blog about
Well, that's why I think that it doesn't affect the Aquaman movie because they hated her.
It's not going
These
to.
chicks hated her since they got to. They hated Amber Heard on day one, the first time those two were outed. They were all their instincts were pretty much right, but they don't. That petition was already there for the first Aquaman,
Mhm.
and it didn't move the needle.
There are a lot of signatures on that petition. I have signed that petition. Is it going to work? No. They're going to make their whatever choice, or they're going to form their opinions on whether or not to keep her based on money and also backlash from Twitter, not the Depp side, but Twitter in general, like that whole world of social media.
Is the studio smart for continuing this saga of reshoots and fake reshoots? And you heard the Walter Hamada on the stand, who's the head
Mhm.
of DC and Warner Brothers, with all this, and I don't believe what he said. I think I think they don't know what to do with it, and maybe they are intimidated by what this trial was a 6-week infomercial for the movie, in my opinion. The curiosity that peaked. So when the movie does come out, it should launch an insane amount of box office of people curious as to how she's written out of the movie or not written out of the movie.
Well, they're also not happy that she went on the stand and spoiled the movie.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Actually, I completely forgot. Do you think that's the contributor to pushing it to
Absolutely.
Christmas? That very thing. It's not come up in any of the fucking mainstream articles I've
What
read.
do you think half of her contract probably said when she signed it? To do
Oh
not
God,
release
that's
details.
you know how all the Marvel actors when they go on talk shows have these
Mhm.
like canned jokes now about how Marvel is sitting with a scope, with a rifle on their forehead if they mention a spoiler of any kind. They're all terrified of talking about anything they dropping and how locked these sets are when they shoot these movies.
Mhm.
But I think they're full of shit. I think they love the publicity. I think in the Aquaman 2 case, the whole trial was about I mean, this is what it's so crazy. Whether or not she deserves to be an Aquaman and defamation, and is she worthy of this? And so Aquaman coming up every 5 minutes during the trial is promotion that you can't buy with any amount of budget for a movie. 6 weeks straight.
Yeah, I know.
And we're the only ones that talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
The curiosity peaked, and they still don't have a trailer ready. I think you're absolutely right. I think that spoiler had much more power to it than I even imagined.
That's the money the money side of whatever choice they're going to be making here. Decision. Oh, what do we got next?
They could, and again, the best move they can make is killing her in the movie, in the pre-credits opening scene, because they're fulfilling their contract. She's in the movie, and then everyone's happy because all this Deptford wives are happy she's dead, because there's no, even in real life, there's no fate. I mean, there's no ending that they'll take other than her death. Her losing the trial isn't good enough for these people. There's no bottom other than Sarah. I told you a million times around the show. I'm shocked. There's some crazy Deptford wife that just doesn't sit there with a silencer, and she's walking out of Whole Foods at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Wednesday and just doesn't put a bullet in her head.
Well, she's in Europe. That's probably the reason.
Or tracks her down in Europe with Eve Barlow.
Actually, I think she's in Jerusalem right now.
She has to have some kind of security hovering her muscle-wise. She has to. Ben Benjamin, the daughter of the TV. Remember the brunette on Too Close for Comfort, Sarah? She was in the Warriors. Her name's like Falka Bazooka. She's the weirdest name. Oh, I can't. The name is so hard for me to get. I can never remember it. Collective Quiver. All right. So Aquaman is delayed again. This is 5 years to December, Christmas Day.
Not even this Christmas. Next Christmas.
Not even this Christmas. Next Christmas. And I bet you it's delayed again. They'll find
as soon as it finally happens, I will try to get you set up with the premiere. Like I got to attend for the first movie. I'll set you up with premiere tickets.
I wonder if this is like a record for like a #1 successful movie like that the most years in between. Actually, you know what's worse than this? Avatar. How could there not have been a second Avatar?
Am I the only one who doesn't give a crap? I didn't care about the first one, even though I watched it. I don't care about the second one. I don't care.
Avatar? That was okay. I mean, it was revolutionary at the time because it re-emphasized 3D, which has gone to shit, which I don't think anyone talks about anymore.
It's going to do a minute fraction of what the first one did.
The weird thing about the Joker movie is that it's not actually in the DC cinematic universe. It's a separate thing. You know what I mean? Like it's like an offshoot thing that's not even, but it's technically licensed by them, so it's a DC movie.
Yeah. Does James Cameron need to make more money?
Depp was rumored as we're gonna have a show soon about Depp and comic book roles that he never did or was rumored to do or he should do. And the Joker just kept coming up over and over again. In fact, he was very much rumored for the Joker in the fucking Pattinson movie. And that didn't happen. In fact, they didn't even make an announcement of it.
During the trial, it was people were making memes and photoshops and like it was a done deal. But no, it's probably not going to happen.
Bon Jovial thinks they should just leave her out of the trailer, which is couldn't agree more. It's ridiculous. Just fulfill your end of the contract. Just leave her out of the trailer. But it's crazy, Bon Jovial, that San Diego Comic-Con, the ground zero mother lode of now movie trailer promotion drops 5 years. Still, they don't have a fully formed trailer ready for it. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. So the next thing is, Depp is now, and this, you talk about an antiquated thing. This is only Howard could care about the MTV VMAs. They make an announcement, and it's this Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know why they insist on.
I don't even know where I can watch it now.
When I was in my 20s, the MTV VMAs were a very big deal. It was very much a drinking night. And if I remember right, it was Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Thursday night in September, and it was a big deal. Like music, MTV actually played videos, but you talk about like an antiquated MTV. Does anybody even know what channel it is on your whatever system you use now of cable or YouTube TV, or do you even know where? You talk about an oxymoron.
I don't even know if I have it.
Video Music Awards in 2022 for a channel that doesn't play videos. This has been a joke for years. And so they still have these awards, and they hand awards out, and you don't know what they're for, and you don't know who's famous in music. It's a big fucking celebrity circle jerk shit show. They don't even know what they're doing. It's just an excuse to have an award show. And so Depp has always had an interesting relationship with MTV. And so they floated a rumor, which appears to be true, that Depp is going to come out in the Moon-Man costume.
Yeah,
And
I don't know the context. I don't know.
And I think what they're going for is they're trying to appeal to the fucking TikTok goldfish brain sect that tried to latch on to him during the trial, who don't know Donnie Brasco from Donnie Wahlberg, and who's going to be in that crowd cackling. So where is this story that Mr. Feeney found? Here we go.
Johnny Depp, MTV's Callin', surprise gig in the works. TMZ reports. Johnny Depp has played many roles, but never a Moon Man, and that's all going to change at the upcoming MTV VMA Awards with a planned surprise appearance from the movie star. VMA production sources tell TMZ Depp's been in talks with the show's producers to dress up as the network's famous Moon Man, recently dubbed the Moon Person, and show face at some point during the show's awards broadcast on August 28th. Depp's won 5 MTV Movie Awards over the years, including Best Male Performance, Best Villain, Global Superstar, and Generation Award in 2012, 10 years ago. The surprise appearance comes on the heels of both the recent announcement of Johnny's return to film as well as his new deal with Dior. TMZ broke the story, and the brand signed Depp to a multi-year 7-figure extension to continue to be the face of the Sauvage fragrance line. It's unclear if he'll also take home some hardware from the show a week from Sunday, but based on what we've seen surrounding public opinion, he's sure to get a massive applause.
I just realized something. I am done with this world. This is my final day. I'm going to do a cartwheel off of a building. I did not know that they changed it to Moon Person. I can't anymore. I've had enough.
I knew you were going to. I heard you. Sariana Huffington, we heard her come out during that read.
I'm shook.
Yeah.
I can't.
I knew you were going to respond to that.
My pot has boiled over.
Here's the thing that's so stupid about it. The Moon Man is inspired. It's an old MTV iconic thing. If anyone remembers the beginnings of MTV, they showed it was symbolic of MTV starting, and so the man on the moon.
Yes.
It's a man on the moon. It's a man in the moon costume on the moon planting the flag. So that was the launch of MTV. Oh my God, this is a new era of cable TV. MTV was one of the first cable channels, so they equated it to launching landing on the moon. So now, even though that was a male, MTV has to change the gender of the Moon Man, or it's gender neutral.
I can't.
Yeah, it's out of control.
I apologize.
No matter
that
how
and
I'm as liberal left wing as it gets.
I apologize to the women of the world that the first human on the moon was a man. I'm so sorry for you. I know that's triggering.
That's Scott Balow.
God.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, Scott Balow. We got a nice intro coming up for you, sir, next time. Scott Balow sent me a picture. Indeed, he is Honey, I Shrank the Karate Kid. He is what a offspring of Rick Moranis and Ralph Macchio would look like.
I got to say, off topic, I'm looking out my back window here. My neighbor is hosing out his bong in his backyard.
No, I got a hose.
Welcome to Oregon.
Would you rather watch Dennis hose down his driveway in Tampa?
No.
3 hours a day.
No.
As he washes his Dodge Challenger or whatever the hell he has. Dennis is a gearhead. Dennis loves cars. It doesn't come up a ton, but he is a clear gearhead. Richard, I know you're a Richard gearhead. Agreed about DiCaprio being a perpetual. Thank you, David.
You say hello, Dolly.
I said, well, David is one of the classiest individuals I've ever interacted with in my life. It's like this guy went to finishing school. He's so classy. He had a rant that I have to respond to about Howard. I got to write him back. I had a whole thing. Such a good about how. Okay, I just really quick. He wrote that Howard thinks he's generation. Howard's fooled himself and the general public into thinking he's Generation X. Like he thinks he is born in the 70s. So if it's so bad, David, all Howard's friends, and if you had a father like this, who'd be the weirdest thing in the world, are people who are 20 years younger than him. Like not just Beth, but there's a great picture, Sarah. You remember the picture of him walking on the Hamptons Beach, and it's him, Aniston,
Yeah.
Justin Theroux, Kimmel, and Molly Plain Jane.
I
And everyone's
don't think
20 years
Aniston and
younger than
Theroux were in the picture. I think it was Plain Jane, Kimmel, and Beth and Howard, because Beth is opening up Molly's beach skirt or whatever, and staring at her stomach, and then it came out that Molly was pregnant soon after that.
It might have been another picture I'm conflating him with. David was DiCaprio being a perpetual kid actor. Even Ron Howard had the sense to switch gears to directing, boring competently as he is a director. He did switch gears. Well said, David. David's going to be featured in a show we're going to be doing about the Soel Moonfry documentary that Marta introduced me to.
Soel or Soleil?
So I think Charlie Sheen, one of the weirdest couples. Charlie Sheen dated her, by the way.
Of course he
So
did.
in addition to Rose McGowan and Al Pacino, that's in my top 5 weirdest celebrity couples nobody knows about. So her thing was during this thing is she went around with a video camera when nobody had a video camera and just documented her life. She recorded everything, all her friends, everything they did, and the whole Punky Brewster thing. And she saved her answering machine messages. And Charlie Sheen's on her answering machine message, and she plays it. And it's so creepy. And he goes, "Hey, Soel, it's Charles. Didn't catch you now. I'm hoping that maybe you can go to a Yankee game with me." And they were a couple. And there's a R allegation which she innuendos, and it's got to be him. It's got to be. It's such a weird. It's so bizarre. The whole Sean Penn produced it, by the way. Sean Penn's. I didn't realize because in the beginning I heard these Pearl Jam songs. I'm like, why? How could Pearl Jam get cleared for a fucking Punky Brewster documentary? And sure enough, at the end it says Sean Penn.
Of course, because he owns the rights to all that soundtrack.
But he's very good friends with Vedder.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did that movie you told me to watch, Into the Wild, which I think is great. See, that's a movie I wish Depp would have done. He looks like a young Depp.
Heartbreaking.
It's the premise of that movie. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's great. It's a very, very sad movie. It's about a dude who
he's had enough.
He graduates college,
and
he doesn't want to join the world in any conventional fashion, and he denies all his parents set him up with, was it an inheritance or? And he just decides he's going to take it and
he's going to go disappear into the wilderness.
Yeah, he's just going to see the Pacific Northwest. He goes up and down like the West Coast, right? He goes to he stops at the Dakotas, and he hits all those weird states that nobody goes to. And he goes on like an adventure, just a wilderness thing to find himself because he's just not interested in joining the real world. And I don't want to give it away, but it's just a sad. It's just a guy who I said, I'm just not going this route. I'm just not going this conventional route. I'm not.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it either, but it's a tragic movie, and it didn't have to be.
No,
the story didn't have to be tragic. Had he just done this one thing this certain day, he would be with us to tell a tale. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
And there's some great. It's a true story.
Yeah.
So it's completely based on a true. It's not like Sean Penn just made it. It's a totally true story, and Eddie Vedder is all over that soundtrack, and it's a great soundtrack.
Yeah, I think Bon Jovial's mentioning the scene that breaks me in the chat. I think Hal Holbrook drops him off and watches him walk away, and just knowing he's never going to see. Oh my God, he's never going to see him again, and Every time I hear that song, Hard Sun, I
I love
weep.
that. That's my favorite one. That's
I
great.
weep.
Yep.
I can't watch
So
the video.
the title of the song, if you haven't heard it, is it Big Hard Sun or just Hard
It's
Sun?
Hard Sun.
And yeah, it's an Eddie Vedder solo song, and some people don't know about it. It's a great song. I completely agree. If it's such thing as new music, but that came out 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's one of my top 5 favorite songs of all time. Anyway, what do we got?
So that MTV thing. So I want to. With that MTV thing, I wanted to show you some moments of Depp getting. He's really been honored so many times at various obscure award shows and shit, and it's a lot more than people realize. Generational awards, People's Choice Awards. I mean, really, the popularity of him really is proven because this is like a lot of fan voting. So his fans tend to come out for these things and really make sure he gets his props. And I kind of want to show what they were talking about, the generational. So this is what they were talking about. This is an MTV generational award. It's very difficult to find. This is like some bad version of it, but I don't think we're going to get a copyright for it. And I could care less anyway, but
I'll just turn the monetization off.
They find a niche, keep going back to the same well. But Johnny has reinvented himself countless times.
This is 2012.
Oh, Jesus. They look like they're dead already.
Yeah, it's 10 years ago.
Fighting everyone from Edward Scissorhands to Ed Woods to John Dillinger.
I'm sorry, G Canada with another phone. Age appropriate, huh? Laughing my ass off. He's 60 with a limp noodle, steps away from the old folks home. But he'll be with another 25-year-old, rest assured, 10 minutes from now. He already has been, G Canada. Paulina Glenn, look her up. He already has the sublime Russian, as it were, he says in the text when he denigrates his ex, Vanessa, by calling her the French albatross. He already has been.
How annoying is Perry's hair?
Now we're getting to a point where Depp's his girls he's considering are his daughter's age, and it's getting creepier and creepier by the minute. I agree, though, G Canada. And that's who's turning up to these Hollywood vampire shows. Yeah, because I'm sure they're there to see Alice Cooper and Joe Perry. What do you call that, Sarah? And Joe Perry's fake hair. Look at their hair.
So annoying. I want to shave his head.
Real. They are the Steven Tyler and Joe Perry's hair makes Howard's look authentic at this point. What is going on with these two?
I don't know.
And they're in their mid 70s at this point.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a rock star, you make a deal with the devil, the genetic deal with the devil, that you will not lose a single follicle, and you will have the hair of a 16-year-old when you're 75 because you got signed by a label. Somehow
they drink formaldehyde.
And to Captain Jack Sparrow. We all know he can play the dashing leading man, but there's more to him than meets the eye. Anti-heroes, outsiders, misfits, and all manner of reprobates. He's got the soul of a renegade. I guess you play what you know, huh? Hey, Johnny? Take a look at the unparalleled work of Johnny Depp.
Looks like Lily Rose, right?
Yeah, it does. What
It's
year is
not
this?
her. This is in 2012.
Yeah, it's not her. Okay.
So I cut right there. I cut like I think it was the fucking Black Keys.
Okay.
He sat in with during that, and then they did a montage, which is I don't know if I incorporated it in this. Lauren Marie says Johnny Depp needs to stay single, just work on himself, in my humble opinion. I love him as an actor, and he seems to be kind and no question about that part. He's super kind and generous, and deserves great karma for those reasons. Lauren, I agree. The single part, I don't know. Depp hasn't heard the word no in many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to start now. So I don't know what working on himself even means. I don't know. I would love to know what Depp considers working on himself right now. Was he humbled from the trial, hearing all this stuff recited back to him?
Let it play for a bit when you start it again.
Self-estitle.
Admire his artistic courage, and we are honored to present him with the 2012 Generation Award. Johnny, It's all about you.
What about what David says here? No one's going to see Louis the 15th if the trial hadn't happened. It'll be a sleeper hit now that it's returned. Well, David, I mean, it can't get worse. It probably wouldn't have got made, but he had that lined up before the fucking trial. So he wasn't canceled. That Ma Wen, the French filmmaker, had already brought him on board. So you're right, though. I mean, it can only put, I don't know where, it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
So it's not even coming out in theater. But I mean, this TikTok goldfish brain nation, I dare them to see this movie. I dare TikTok Molly to see this movie. They won't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. There's a demarcation line about people who go to his. Like I said, chicks who don't know Donnie Wahlberg from Donnie Brasco. That's an audience that's not going to go see Louis the 15th.
Steven just spit out one of my teeth. It's just, I'll put it back in later. I got to thank MTV for this. This is quite an amazing honor, truly.
Thank you, David. Leave it to the 33-year-old to reference the chick on Too Close for Comfort, a show that ended when David was -5.
Mm-hmm.
Fairuza Balk. David's the one who says it. Isn't it? It's crazy.
It's like the get out of the business award, basically. It's like you've done too much. And clearly, based on the clips, there's obviously something wrong with me. So I just thank you very much, and it's an honor to be.
On Jovial, is that true? The effect the trial has had on Australian tourism is incalculable.
Might be
Is that
sarcasm.
true? I don't know.
Oh, let it play for a bit.
Presented by these two legends, Stephen and Joe, and these up-and-coming legends, the Black Keys. So thank you very, very much, sir.
CB writes, Avatar, too little, too late. Movie theater experience is dead and gross. You could be right about that, CB. We were talking about that before we went on about the movie theater now. Are people, Lauren Marie's going out, but she's a hardcore, staunch cinephile. I wonder, has there been drops in box or people just because of COVID, did it just teach people to just stay home and wait?
Of course.
I can't imagine it's helped at this point. Are we just trepidatious? Not even has that ship sailed? Is it an antiquated notion to go out to the movie? I mean, whether, the certain films lend itself to the huge screen and that ambiance. I don't know. When's the last time you've been to the theater, Sarah?
Aquaman.
Are you kidding me? 5
No.
years ago is the last time you've been in an actual
Before
theater?
that, it was New Moon.
Is
Twilight,
that the Twilight?
New Moon.
Oh
yeah,
my
the
God,
second movie. I never go to the theater.
Tinkerbell. Which
It was the second one.
Twilight was that? Okay. How many Twilights are there?
1, 2, 3, 5. I think 5. But then they split the last one up into like 2 parts for a cash grab.
You're a weird broad. Some of the things you don't see and you refuse not to, but you do see Twilight and you do love.
Well, remember I was married.
Okay.
All right, let's just play. Let's get to the next
No,
thing.
it's over. Stop
Okay.
Stop rushing everything.
Well, stop,
And by
start,
the way, you
stop,
can't
start.
play through because you're trying to avoid copyright stuff too. So I'm stopping it for a reason as well. Our Sariana Huffington.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with it. I'll smack the hell out of you.
Okay, this is okay, so I want to show you some award show moments from him. This is Depp on the balls of his ass with allegations coming out. He's still, this is how, like, if I'm Amber Heard's team, I'm just like, really? How do you get the People's Choice Award if you're canceled? So in 2017, he wins the People's Choice Awards, which is like a CBS thing, introduced by your favorite.
I don't remember.
To be a nominee for favorite.
Oh, we got a copyright on this last time you played it.
By the way, my cousin was at this, and he was involved. He was happy. He was milling around backstage, and Depp was walking by him with Sean Bett and everyone else marching by. I think Jerry Judge was still alive, and they were marching to the stage. And my cousin just kind of milling around. He happened to be have access to this backstage, and he walked by Depp. Depp looked him in the eye and gave him that sort of bro head nod, kind of like. And he sure he would have. And my cousin said he froze. He's never been starstruck in his life to that degree. Like he just didn't know, and he gave him a sort of that bro head nod. And it was. He said he was never been that just frozen in star power.
You know what? In terms of this world that we're in here in the Deppening, I would be just as starstruck meeting Jerry Judge as I would Johnny Depp.
That's a good call.
I would.
Right now? Yep.
I'm putting myself, if he were alive, in that place, and yes, I would.
Your star must burn so bright you enchant fans all over the world. So
to Jump Street.
I know.
Are they playing Manson here?
This is
okay. This is why I wanted to show you. Look who's on Depp's right. I didn't know this the first time. We didn't know who this was. Christian Carino. This is 2017.
One of his witnesses.
So that was initially the agent he went to after Tracy Jacobs, who represented both he and Amber Heard. Amber Heard is now dropped at this point by her.
I think
by
so.
Carino.
Yeah.
So we knew him from. I did not know who that was at the time. So now we have context behind this.
Yeah, this is right when the shit's popping off.
Yep.
Hence his speech.
This is knee deep in personal life hell for Depp. His mom just passed away, and the Amber Heard stuff has hit a crescendo.
Hair looks good.
Johnny Depp's 14th.
He's doing what, Sarah? I'm gonna quiz you on this. What
City of
movie is he doing?
Lies.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Good call. And he's in LA film.
How you doing?
Just great, darling.
Good evening.
Good evening.
He's usually very efficient. These award shows, he's in and out. He goes, "Oh, thank you for supporting me on this long, crazy road, and all you people." So he'll say something charming and sweet and appreciative of his fans, but get out. He never goes more than 20 seconds. This one, he is feels very, very privileged to have anybody in his corner at this one.
He has to take a moment too, like halfway through, because he's welling up. In my opinion.
It's blue. You guys notice that? Listen, that's fantastic. Those are great noises. Thank you. I came here for one reason tonight and one reason only. I love you too, kid. Thanks.
David writes, the VMAs are so antiquated. It's like if there was still a blockbuster movie awards around. That's so true. And I just wondered, David, how that got set up for him. If his people, his agents, his managers, all said, MTV wants you to show up. They know while the trial's still hot and his name is still the weird infamy that lurks over it, and the massive applause he'll get, that it's going to send this rippling effect. His appearance, if this happens, will usurp the entire show. It's not even a question. So it's someone who is capitulating to him dropping in and out. By the way, they're shooting it in Newark, New Jersey. So I think just any forum that gives him this sort of, raucous applause, it's just going to be, I think it's a PR thing too. And he's at a point though where he's so, what's the word I'm looking for? He's so humbled by any lathering or gushing he gets that he just says yes to any kind of it's in lockstep with how he's stopping in every fan situation and signing individual selfies. And
of course, but it's also that went through, for the next 4 years where he's every European film
Yeah.
award is offering him a Lifetime Achievement Award. That's
exactly
the only
right.
place he's getting love. They stopped
And
doing this in America.
There were two of them during the smear campaign. When even when he lost the UK trial, he had the Russian. What was it? What was it?
It was like a Polish film festival or something.
Exactly. There were two of them in that time.
Yeah, we
You're
did a
absolutely right.
show on that.
We did do a show on that.
You very, very graciously
I still love his
invited
voice.
me here once again tonight. So I appreciate that very much. You have
Rattles
no
my
idea
balls.
how much I appreciate it.
So you see what it says here? It's a little chilling because you have no idea how I appreciate it. So his mother died.
Yep.
Just a little bit before this, and the Amber Heard stuff's going down. And I think a lot of this bird brain audience isn't quite aware of the Heard.
Yeah,
drama
they just want to woo.
Yeah.
They want to woo-hoo at a celebrity.
People kind of know the stuff leaking out, but the whole stuff had not come full circle to fruition to the degree it does a year from this point.
Let me rephrase. They want to woo-hoo at Jack Sparrow. That's all they know him.
I love you too. Were you just over there? I love you too.
Wait.
No idea
Charisma.
how much I appreciate it.
This is he takes a chilling pause here, and you could feel. I mean, I knew every bit of what was going on, so I was like, "Oh wow, I know what he's talking."
Once again tonight, so I appreciate that very much. You have no idea how much I appreciate it.
Well up. Right there.
He's gonna cry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little tear there.
I love you too.
Let's see if we can spot the tear.
I love you too. Idea how much I appreciate it.
Right.
I see it. See it?
Little misty.
Absolutely.
I would comfort him.
His right eye is got a tear in it, without question. Cry baby. Cry baby.
I love you too.
That's how he gets past that.
Were you just over there? It's quick.
Take those things out of your ear, though.
I hate
Thanks,
this fucking
man.
earrings.
I'll bite him out.
I should probably. I think the band is underneath me and they're gonna shoot me or something. Listen, I was very deeply affected by the kindness of your recognition and by your well wishes to my family and to myself, which is why it's especially meaningful to me to be here.
Right there.
In front of you, to say thank you, and to.
Is he crying here, Sarah?
No, I think he's past it, but I think he started again.
Look at the right eye.
Yeah, you're right. I see it.
The
in that light.
interior.
I see it better.
Yep.
To thank you, because in all honesty, we all know that none of us, especially me, wouldn't be standing up here if it weren't for you tonight. So thank you, and give him hell, Betty Sue.
That's sad.
So his name is Betty Sue, and she just died. And she died, I think, I want to say 3 days before this. This was done on a Thursday night, I think, or no, it could have been earlier in the week. His mother died, I think, 2 or 3 days before this. So it's nice and fresh. And he says, "Give him hell, Betty Sue." Let's do this.
Well, and he just 2 days
Up here,
after or before this, he realized he was being set up.
That too. So it's all this culmination of hideous things that anybody would be pulverized from. And action.
What's the date of this?
This 2017.
No, you mean 16?
Yeah, it's
She died in 16, but I'm asking because May 27th is when she got the restraining order.
Yeah, this is 16. This is Jesus. I forget the date.
That's fine. Okay, all right.
Also, the money.
Yeah.
So 650. As far as he knew, he was not $650 million. He cleaned out.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff.
That was the month before.
The problem. He's the prime example, the paradigm of problems come in threes.
Yep. What a spring.
Yeah. Barbara DeRush, Moon Person. They're all going. They love
painful.
your.
I
reacting
can't.
to you.
I'm still like ready to
CB, Babe Lewis,
I don't
Rooster
know.
Sideburns, Moon Person. That went over my head. Yeah, you can definitely blink and miss it, Affy.
My
But
leg went numb when I heard you say it.
Sarah's got the woke radar. She's looking for all things woke hyperbole. You are a master at catching
It's
woke
not
hyperbole. Woke
fair that
hyperbole.
because you have a penis, you cannot ever be a victim of anything.
Baby Lewis goes gallon the moon. There hasn't been a woman on the moon, says Barbara DeRush. Thank you,
Yeah.
Babs. There should be.
Isn't the moon a woman in, I don't know, somewhere? I know that
Oh,
my friends in high school went through this mystical phase and the moon goddess, and okay, whatever.
What about Sandra Bullock in Gravity?
I don't know that.
That
Her
was
screaming.
that was the Tina Fey joke about George Clooney not wanting to date a woman his own age, so he cut off his air supply and went into space so he'd have to be.
I just
How
know all
outrageous
from the trailer where she does that thick voice scream she does after
Yeah.
she like starts to float away or something. I said I'm never watching this movie.
Let's hear Betty Sue again.
For you tonight, so thank you, and give him hell, Betty Sue.
It's very sad.
Let's find another award moment. Okay,
Nine
I'm
Inch
gonna.
Nails.
You want to see that? I have it
Yeah,
right
let's
here.
play that. He
Okay.
looks hot.
So this is a Howard moment. We could weave this into Howard. The
End it
Stern Show is
before-
backstage. The Stern Show is backstage doing shows, and Depp, Trent Reznor, and Prince were all kind of preciously prickly about doing press at that. You know Reznor, right? I mean, he's really bad with the press.
He
right?
won't.
I mean,
He won't sit
everyone
down
knows
for an
about,
interview.
everyone knows about Prince, and
Yeah.
Depp is not that way at all anymore. And what Depp wanted to be back then. He was weird. That was when Depp was elusive, press wise. But Trent Reznor. So this is the 1999 MTV Video Music Awards.
It's the last
and
one I
this-
watched.
Yeah,
It is
Chris
seriously.
Chris Rocket, the host, with one of my favorite Depp jokes of all time. He called him a rich man, Skeet Ulrich.
Wow. Will Smith didn't win again. Oh my God. I've never.
Isn't it crazy? Him and Will Smith in award shows that you just
Mm-hmm.
after the Oscars shit that this just happened to be another Will Smith, Chris Rock. It's what a bizarre coincidence.
Yeah.
Seen
Go down a
something.
notch.
All right. You got Mark McGrath and Jennifer Lopez. Now, if she was the lead singer of his group, they'd have to call her Sugar Ass. Come on.
Now you want to hear a Depp accent? Listen to the way he
But he
says
looks fucking great.
nails.
I'd eat him.
Ladies and gentlemen,
9 Inch
9
Nails.
Inch Nails.
I think you give it
Nails,
too much A
nails
when you
is
say it.
5 syllables. Nail.
I think he's just
Now,
nails.
ladies and gentlemen, from Tim Burton's new movie, Sleepy Hollow, give it up for the rich man, Skeet Ulrich, Johnny Depp.
Oh,
Look at the plunging neckline.
I don't care.
Wallet chain.
Easier for me to dive in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, damn, I'm wrong. Okay.
It's over.
I should never question.
I don't
you.
play the music. I don't play the music.
Yeah, please don't. We'll lose everything.
Of course, I know. I'm not. Especially Trent Reznor.
Oh, God.
He's got to be.
He will
just a
knock on my
copyright nut.
door. He already hates me.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, from Tim Burton's new movie, Sleepy Hollow, give it up for the rich man, Skeet Ulrich, Johnny Depp.
I want to be that ID card.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 9 Inch Nails.
God damn.
I want to be
That
that
was-
that VIP card swinging into his crotch when he walks.
That was the origins of his Euro Angelina Jolie Madonna
Yeah.
accent when he started getting goofed on for it. This is the origin of it. This is now he's promoting Sleepy Hollow, and there was a huge promotional blitz for Sleepy Hollow because it is the first 9-figure film Depp ever did.
Well,
It
do you know
made-
how wonderful this was for me watching it? My favorite actor was introducing my favorite band at the time.
Your favorite comedian.
My favorite album of that year.
Your favorite comedian.
I don't care about Chris
Oh,
Rock.
of course, leave the black guy out. Of course
really
you. Of
don't.
course, you leave the black guy out. Of course you do.
Bon Jovial. Would Sarah still want the Depp all over her when he was overweight in the trial fight? Yes, I would.
He wishes you were his. He would be a lucky man if you were his wife. He wouldn't be in this mess if you were his wife. If he had that taste. If he was dated he is 17, 15 years older than you.
I don't care.
And that's age inappropriate for him, the way he thinks.
Well, those 3-piece suits he was wearing, you will never see a 3-piece suit removed from a body so fast as you would see when I'm doing it.
We've joined each other in the skinny fat club. He's mastered the skinny fat physique.
He's 60.
Where you have distended belly but skinny arms, and you could have
He's fine.
That's not. I said there's nothing wrong. I'm not skinny fat shaming anyone. I said he's part of the skinny fat. We love our skinny fat.
I find him attractive.
There's good skinny fat, and then there's JD Harmeyer.
I love a dad bod. Sign me up.
It's not dad bod as much as it's skinny fat.
I know. I'm being kind, but
No, I know. The two can sometimes get conflated, but why that 60 equals one large step for man, one trip and fall for MTV, 9-inch nails.
I know. I am so wrong for insulting you, saying you were putting too much A in that. You were right.
How dare you?
I know. Spank me.
How dare you? So this is so getting back to satiate you Stern, give you red meat for you Stern fans. This is backstage at the Howard Stern show while this is going on. Depp, Prince, and Trent Reznor refused to do press, and the word goes down to the media, and the Stern crew gets wind that they're not going to be able to speak to any three of these guys. All people Howard wishes he was. All people Howard is obsessed with imitating their personal style.
Is this pelican meat you're going to give them?
Yes, pelican meat. Yes, thank you.
When it plays, just go down like one notch.
Howard was and is gay for all three of these guys.
Oh God.
Well, you think guests will come in?
Well, it's a little early.
No. We, the prospects are good.
The prospects are great.
Yeah, because
that's an MTV executive.
Of course.
Okay, so
Howard's type.
You got to remember, you got to do the math with the corporate machine McKine, and CBS owns Infinity, which Howard broadcasts from K-Rock, and they also own MTV. So there's interwoven kind of company synergy with MTV and Howard's. Even on Howard Station, they had MTV VJs doing other shifts. So this complete sister thing going on. He's completely in bed with MTV.
I think Howard wishes he could wear this top and get away with it.
I do too. I think that's exactly what he wears at 17 Squabble Lane. I think it's exactly.
Don't forget the wig and the makeup.
Oh, totally. I mean, we say all the time that his schedule is completely tweaked so he can live out his homoerotic Priscilla and the what's that drag movie? Priscilla and the something. Yeah. So he could live that out all summer.
He wants to be Patrick Swayze.
He's so many secrets that he has to be home.
Julie Newmar. What's
Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Yes.
Well, oh God. How does the full title go? It's crazy.
Thanks
for everything. Oh, it's something.
Yeah, there's also Priscilla. Thank you, David. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Of course, he knows it.
I know. And Julie. I just call it Julie Newmar. Okay.
Entertainment Tonight's already out on the red carpet getting guests.
And we got a whole list.
Yeah, should have asked to be on the red carpet.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't ask me.
Where's your meeting when you guys said no?
When they talk.
He was busy picking out his dress.
One thing's for sure, you will always tell me to lower it. No matter
it
what
blows out
volume
my
is.
headphones. I'm just imagining what it's doing.
Gina Bobini, David wasn't the violinist on the Titanic.
Tu Wong Fu. Thank you.
Tu Wong Fu. Thank you. That's right. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. And it was Wesley Snipes, Swayze, and John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
That was the 3 stars of it.
I have a feeling, I said this earlier, but I think Howard looks very much like Patrick Swayze in drag when he's floating around Squabble.
Oh, good call. Good call. Good call. I never
Disturbing.
thought of that.
Yes.
You know, Swayze's 2 years older than Howard.
Oh,
It was his birthday the other day. It was a weird article on Swayze turning 70.
the good guy
70.
young.
You want to feel Patrick Swayze would be 70. Isn't that
Mhm.
crazy?
At
Crazy
least,
Swayze.
Patrick Swayze could dance. What does Howard do? Nothing.
Oh, you never saw his Messiah dance?
Yeah, the Jesus pose.
The Jesus pose?
Well, anyway, thank you, Joe.
But wait a minute, didn't we get another list of the people who were not doing press tonight?
Yeah, there are people who are not doing it. Regis Philbin and the artist formerly.
Regis Philbin lives in Howard's building. Monique did a very cool. She went back to. She pretended to be a buyer, and she went to Howard's building, and she did. I think they have to produce some kind of income statement or something at the Millennium Towers on West. What is it? 110 West 67th Street and Columbus.
They would have me arrested for trespassing.
Or 101. And she went and she did a tour of his very unspectacular hallway building of the Millennium Towers. And Regis Philbin was one of his very famous neighbors at the time. And was Gutenberg was another one.
Somehow.
Steve Gutenberg, Marv Albert, Jolie Fisher, Carrie Fisher's. I said Gutenberg, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Carrie Fisher's sister, Jolie Fisher, Regis, Alan Alda, and Marv Albert, and I'm forgetting someone else. Harvey Levin was another one.
We know it's Prince.
And two others.
Nine Inch Nails.
Here's the list of people who will not do press, definitely, and not just for us, but for everyone.
Okay.
The artist.
Yeah, that's Prince.
I just wish I could see him. I go, hey Prince, come over here, you big pussy. Your name is Prince.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, come over here, you little midget.
Do you know how much Howard would kiss his ass
Of
today in
course.
2022, Stir? Do you know how many efforts they made to get him on the show?
He would pull
fucking
that
back
high heel
dance.
boot off of his foot and suck on his toes.
Yep. The Prince bat dance is his favorite fucking song. He's still
While
pulls
Prince's
her
legs
ass white.
swung above
Yep.
the floor on that couch.
Him and Ralph 69 each other to
Oh
bat dance. in
God, I hate you.
the basement. That definitely happened. That definitely happened. Not just the 9 Inch Nail song. I think they 69 each other to bat dance.
Oh
I think
my
they had anal
God.
sex to bat dance.
I hate
I'm
you.
not. I'm not even kidding.
Artist and Regis. Regis. Why doesn't Regis want to do press?
I mean, he's got to get up early. He's got
Is that
Kathy
it?
Lee. He's got a problem.
Bon Jovial signs off with us on this, Sarah.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Into the Wild broke me. The big where he sees his dad and walks away. Can't remember. Oh God, that's a tough scene. You're so right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I saw that about 4 years ago. That is a tough scene. I know exactly.
I can't watch it.
You know what else got me? Sarah, the scene where he lands in L.A. and he has to stay at his shelter just to clean up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's either online or when he first gets to LA, he sits and he looks into an outdoor. He's sitting on the sidewalk and he looks into a restaurant and he sees people his own age,
Yeah.
kind of up and along in their professional life, and he's like, that could be me, kind of thing. And he just like slumps down because he's just on the balls of his ass,
Mm-hmm.
and he just sees this could be my life. And he's staring through the window at someone like his own age, like just some broker guy.
All right. Yeah, she won't put on a bra.
That's
By the way, you might put on a bra with that outfit, Joe. Your nipples are protruding.
Somebody
Notice
asked what.
Joe is doing press, but the artist and
Barbara, the Solo Moon Fry documentary's on Hulu.
Somebody
thought it
asked
was
what
Am-
kind of. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's on Hulu. It's called Kid 90. It's not. That's how you have to look it up. It's a weird title, but it was Marta that it introduced me to. I didn't know it existed. It's phenomenal. It's so bizarre.
Somebody asked what kind of shoes this guy was wearing. Prison sandals, it appears. I would have said a black suede boot with a heel.
Are they? What's that famous? All the shoes the broads love. Blanc. What is it?
What?
Oh. What is the shoe the broads love? Mola Blanc. What the fuck is the name of that? It's got a
Manolo Blahnik.
Is that it?
Oh Jesus.
Fanola Blahnik.
Manolo
Okay.
Blahnik.
I was confusing it with the Mont Blanc pen. Could you combine the two?
Don't talk about women's footwear. It's disturbing.
I hate you. You broads in your shoes. That's what they said. The broads are the smarter sex. Sometimes I would push back on that. Your obsession with shoes might curtail that a little bit. That's a vapid thing that the Sarah Jessica part, the Carrie Bradshawization of your brain needs to be parried down and filled with some more good, knowledgeable stuff.
I watch
something
the
more
NBA
cerebral.
and the NFL. I'm fine.
But guys with sneakers are no better, but I think broads are way worse with shoes.
Regis won't do press. The artist Johnny Depp, Regis Philbin, and 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor will not do press.
Johnny
He owes you
Depp.
nothing.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp doesn't even have a movie career, does he?
Oh my
I
God.
believe he does have a movie career.
Except
I don't know how does he
Every
keep
movie
on
he
going?
does never makes money. It's a horrible movie.
The astronaut's wife.
horrible.
He sleeps through it.
You saw it?
It's one of the worst movies I've seen this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we ought to put him.
We got to play this for Depp, Stuttering John bashing him. So
Oh,
Stuttering
my
John
God.
goes, and Depp is gracious enough to let his band play the Viper Room and helps him load equipment, and John sandbags him like this to Howard.
Yeah. Oh my God. Robin.
And they kiss his ass like you've never heard anyone get when Depp comes on the show to promote
2 years
From Hell.
later.
A scant 2 years later. Yes,
Mm.
ma'am. This is the stern coat fucking poser, just has no opinion. Just every day it's a different, he has no take, has no
How did
integrity. Go ahead. Sorry.
I apologize.
No,
How
no,
did,
go.
How did that talk show work out for Robin?
Exactly.
Robin's stuck. Fucking. Oh my God. Yeah, look at John. Hilarious.
So boring.
That's what I think. Joe, I like your outfit for
Thank you.
what it's worth.
I
know
want to
you don't
borrow
think-
it. I know.
Nah, I don't think I'd fit in it. You're a much smaller size than me. But anyway, notice Joe is doing press, but the artist and Regis won't do press. The artist Johnny Depp, Regis Philbin, and 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor will not do press.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp doesn't even have a movie career, does he?
He's got a new
Unfortunately,
movie.
he does have a movie career.
Except
I don't know how does he
Every
keep
movie
on
he
going?
does never makes money.
Oh.
It's a horrible movie.
The astronaut's wife.
horrible.
He sleeps through it.
You saw it?
It's one of the worst movies I've seen this year.
I would watch.
Well, we ought to put him in a dress.
So boring.
That's what I think. Joe, I like.
I would watch The Astronaut's Wife on a loop rather than listen to anything Howard Stern puts up in the
Let's
last
have
10 years.
Let's have one too many versus the astronaut's wife,
Oh my God.
and put them up against
Oh my God.
6 million moviegoers, and we'll see who votes for what. With no bias, with no kind of movie star bias, we'll just have people who don't care about any celebrities. We'll have the G Canadas of the world watch one too many, and we'll put it against the astronaut's wife, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah, what's John's excuse? Because The Astronaut's Wife was written by someone else. John wrote his movie. Disgusting.
He does get he gets the writer's credit on that, right? Is it him and Jeff? Doesn't Jeff Ross co-write it with him?
Yeah, and I think he co-starred. I've never seen it, but I know that there's the nastiest sex scene I've ever seen in my life. Stuttering John humping a woman. I hope to never see again.
The walking contradiction, backstabbing nest of viper posers that is the Howard Stern show, who kiss Depp's ass like you've never heard of anyone's ass kissed. 2 years after, a scant 2 years after this, when he comes on to promote From Hell.
Oh,
By the way, the director of One Too Many is, do you know who Michael D. Lorenzo is?
I know the name.
He is a rare breed of half Hispanic, half Italian, like Monique and Benicio del Toro. He was in a show called New York Undercover, which was a kind of a 21 Jump Street knockoff follow-up with him and Malik Yoba over here, which was on Fox, which you know everything about in the mid-90s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now I want to go to. You want to do the Roman Polanski stuff, Sarah?
If you want to.
What's that huff?
It is
Sariana
a dark
Huffington?
topic. I'm preparing myself mentally.
So in preparation for this, because we didn't know, I had to call an audible and I had to switch some stuff up, and I'm kind of looking for Depp Stern moments, and I found this. And thanks, to the Boffes and the Steve S's of the world. I was able to go right to this clip, and Depp is on Howard in the news for defending Roman Polanski. Just kind of being a Polanski apologist, as a lot of film people are. Just it's very similar to the Woody Allen stuff.
Okay.
You know, I mean, they think somehow the artistry usurps the pedophilia and morals, and somehow, I mean, Woody Allen is it's ground zero for that, right, Sarah? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the who's who of superstar Hollywood defend Woody Allen, hoping to be still thinking. I mean, he couldn't be more out of
Because
touch
they do the same
and
thing.
antiquated, because they do the same thing. And so I found during Robin's news, they reported on Depp defending Roman. It was a weird story for them to play in. This is 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be rooting for them. All right, Robin,
I'm
anything
glad
else?
I gave you a cause. Johnny Depp says that Roman Polanski is not a predator.
Really? How does he know?
I don't know.
I guess he was alone in a room with him and then he get hit on.
So that's Depp and Polanski, obviously, Sarah, in the picture. Depp's hair is him, fittingly, preparing for the astronaut's wife. He has the frosted hair. With the astronaut's wife was actually shot in New York, and Depp is in France here, hanging out with his buddy Roman Polanski on the streets of Paris.
Okay.
Well, how can you say he's not a predator if he, roofied up some chick and fucked her and she was underage?
Depp collaborated with Polanski on the Ninth Gate, and he insists to U.S. prosecutors that they should take Polanski's current home life into consideration and let the 32 charges go.
Maybe he meant predator as in Aliens versus Predator. That he's not a monster from another planet.
He says he's not a predator. He's 75 or 76 years old. He's got 2 beautiful kids, and he's got a wife that he has been with for a long, long time. He's not out on the street. So I guess we should let him go.
How do we know he's not out on the street?
This is Johnny Depp is telling us.
Oh, well, okay, Johnny.
They are on the street.
How many predator friends does Howard have?
Oh God, Sarah, you have a master list of what is it up to? 100
I think
people?
we're
From
maybe.
Matt Lauer to Louis C.K. to I mean, it's just I don't know where Harvey Weinstein. It's just everybody that's been Me Too'd is Howard adjacent, and and Sarah has a master list of this. How do you think Roman Polanski would? To Millie Bobby Brown. You think Roman Polanski would like Millie Bobby Brown, Sarah? Like Howard does?
I think he would fall in love. Depends on if she gets in the hot tub with him.
So I went after this and I found the actual video of Depp saying this, which I will not defend, and it's kind of strange. And I think you've seen this. Come on. I'm jumping around folders here. Give me a second.
That's fine.
Depp defends Polanski.
If it's the same video I'm thinking of, there's probably a lot of background noise, right? Like white noise.
A little bit. It is definitely a strange audio. I'm going through this. No, it's not Depp v. Stern's Today's Show. I got a different. These fucking folders are driving me crazy.
How many you got there that you're rifling through?
More folders than Alex P. Keaton and Family Ties.
Then more folders than the back of Robin's neck.
You got a big old package of hot dogs in the back of your neck.
Gross.
That was I don't know, was it Patrice O'Neill insult or something? Where I got that from?
I don't know, but it's a good one. Roman
Polanski. It's so hard to search for things and talk at the same time. It's Polanski suffers. Come on, damn it!
It's fine. You just had a stuttering John there.
What'd I do?
Oh,
here we go.
I came all the way from Switzerland, which unfortunately.
A dude from Switzerland's asking him this question.
Got famous for arresting Polanski. What do you think about it, and do you know anything else about it?
Why now?
Why now? What's going? I mean, obviously there's something going on somewhere, and somebody had to make a deal with someone for something, and maybe there's a little money involved. I don't know, but why now?
No.
He's been going there for 30 years. No, I'm not saying that to you. I'm asking the question in general. For 30 years he's been going there. He has a place, he has a house there, you know.
Especially the way they did it.
Especially the way they
called
did it.
him to give him a lifetime achievement, and then it was in the end it was a trap to arrest him.
And also the thing is very clearly, and he's proven this, Roman Polanski is not a predator.
Private Parts versus the Astronaut's Wife, says Rooster Sideburbs. Rooster, Astronaut's Wife is more realistic than Private Parts. Private Parts is actually more science fiction than the Astronaut's Wife.
This is the thing, and I've said this before on the show, I can't defend him for this.
You can't. There's
The
no
question bothers
indefensible.
the question of why now bothers me, because
Yes.
if I'm a father of the child, I don't care if it's 70 years later, I wouldn't be alive, but as long as I'm alive, my every waking moment, breath, thought would be, I will murder this man.
Okay, knowing what you know now about the transcripts and the trial, something I harp on all the time. What did his own daughter end up doing on his own compound? Lived with Lily
I
Rose
know
at
we've talked
15,
about it
lived
ad
with 24.
nauseum.
Right, so this is what you're dealing with. You say his own
Mhm.
daughter. He obviously advocates his own daughter because he doesn't seem to have a problem with his own daughter at
That's the
14,
French
15
thing.
living.
Again, Roman
I
Polanski, the French thing.
know. It's
We
excuse
love
for everything.
France. Viva la France. Yeah, there's a reason. Viva la France.
I mean, he's he's 75 years old or what, or 76. He's
I don't
got
care.
2 beautiful kids. He's got a wife that he's been with for a long, long time.
Brendan's theory, my friend Brendan's theory, who's the male version of you. Women obsess over shoes because they can control the appearance of their feet much easier than they can the rest of their bodies.
Yeah.
The
Feet
women
look
who are
fat
too
though
into their
too in
shoes and
shoes.
their nails. Yeah, that could
Yeah.
be.
Great. He's got 2 kids. I hope he didn't touch his kids. I don't care if he's got 2
I know.
kids. I don't
You
care
got
if
to
he's
hear
got a wife.
the Quentin Tarantino stuff when I play that is worse than this.
And I don't
You gotta-
care if the girl now has not recanted, but said she wants to move on. It's because they settled. That's why she wants to move on. Good for her. Move on, be healthy. The world shouldn't forget what he did.
we hear from her too, responding not to Depp but to Quentin Tarantino. It's crazy how you can tie all this in with Howard and Depp, and I just did this to pull this out of my ass today.
He's not out in the street, doing horrible things. So
He would.
I'm confused by it.
So I should say that they changed topics here. That's the end of it. It's not he doesn't go on with it. Rosemary's Baby is in my top 5 movies. People love that, Lauren, and Chinatown. Those are the 2
I
Polanski
can't get into
movies that
any
come
of
up.
it.
I've not seen Rosemary's Baby.
He grosses me out too much. I don't watch Woody Allen movies.
You'll be repulsed, as Lauren writes here by him. The Ninth Gate. Polanski made some great movies, personality aside. Well, that's why they keep coming back, Lauren. That's why Depp defends him. Do you think if he made one too many in Private Parts, he'd be defending him? That's why he defends him. When you're an artist, and Depp likes to collect artists in his life, whether it's actual artists or filmmakers. He loves to like baseball cards and collect Thompson, and Allen Ginsberg's a piece of shit, right? The Allen, do you know the Allen Ginsberg stuff? That's crazy shit. So now I found I just went down this crazy avenue today. So then Tarantino goes on Howard and talks about Polanski in a way worse way than even that
Well,
is.
Tarantino's got some weird things too going on. Not
Right.
on that level, maybe. I don't know, but like fetishes and
This was
weird
tough to
stuff.
find. Like this is 2003. He's promoting Kill Bill, and I had to really dig for this because it was like not. And I think the Stern Show again. This is like when Howard was good, hard hitting. Ask Anything Howard interviewer. He pushes back and he goes at Tarantino with the Polanski stuff. which he'd never dream of doing today. This is a
Mhm.
way different show. It's going to make you depressed that this show does not, and this Howard is long dead for years
I let it go
and
a
years
long
and
time
years.
ago.
Yep, yes, you did. You walked the walk.
Gary, go back to arguing with Robin. That was fun. It's always fun when you have to defend your movie.
I know.
Well, you
And
got
why should he have to defend anything?
a reporter out in Hollywood interviewed you. Here's what you said. I got to ask you a reason. When Gary Garver, our reporter out in Hollywood, interviewed you. Here's what you said. I got to ask you about this.
Okay.
This I don't understand. Your movie I understand. This I don't. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Hey, Quentin, how you doing, man?
Hey.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
Nice to meet you. What have you done to make the world a better place?
I don't know. What do you think I've done?
Cool movie.
Nothing.
Oh, well, there. I'll stand with that.
Pulp Fiction's awesome.
Yeah.
Were you happy when Roman Polanski won the Oscar?
Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually, yeah.
What's so great about a rapist being the recipient of Hollywood's highest honor?
I don't consider him a rapist.
That's the one. How could you defend? See, I don't know.
So Tarantino's in the show now. Tarantino's on the Stern show, and Howard kind of sandbags him here, which is crazy. Yeah, Pellel, I noticed that too. The clip we played from the news, you could feel the Artie void as well. I get that sense. That's right after Artie's not coming back with the show, but Howard refuses to announce it. That's a month after they come back from the vacation break in which Artie was fired.
Understand this. How come Hollywood embraces this madman, this director who raped a 13-year-old?
He didn't rape a 13-year-old. It was statutory rape.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
that's not quite the same thing. All right?
Come on.
Enough said. It's not statutory rape. You know, he had sex with a minor. All right, that's
After
not
drugging
rape.
her.
To me, when you use the word rape, all right, you're talking about violent, throwing them down. It's like one of the most violent crimes in the world. You can't throw, throwing the word rape around is like throwing the word racist around. All right, it just doesn't apply.
Not that I'm not glad Howard's doing this, but Howard is up Woody Allen's ass. Now, did you know about this? Howard's trying to get it. He tries to. He very, very regularly, and I think he may very well be friends with Woody Allen in the Hamptons privacy, because the whole Alec Baldwin connection. Howard very much is trying to get. I honestly think they're
Seinfeld
friends.
or Kimmel is.
Seinfeld,
so.
right?
Yeah.
17
R
that's
is R.
Yep.
To everything that people use it for. All right, he was guilty of having sex with a minor. All right,
That she didn't want to have.
No, that was not the case at all. She wanted to have it.
Well,
and dated the guy.
Thank you, David. Howard is the hub of the wheel for all showbiz predators. What must they see in Howard that they'd all be exactly right? That is a vehicle for all showbiz predator. They looked at him and his show as a vehicle for the showbiz predator. Absolutely, a conduit for the showbiz predator. Absolutely, it's not a coincidence. Well said, David.
Dated the guy and
She was 13.
and found out. Well, and by the way, we're talking about America's morals. We're not talking about the morals in Europe and everything. All right.
Wait a second.
Morals in
You have
Europe, morals in
sex
China.
with a 13-year-old girl, and you're a grown man. You know that's wrong because she has
giving her booze
and
pills.
I'm not. Look, she was down with it.
Oh, you're crazy.
And she's talked about it. She's talked about it.
Oh,
now she's an adult.
So crazy.
Quentin's obviously ridiculous here, and you got him over a barrel, and I've never heard this until today. By the way, I don't remember this interview. I listened to the show religiously back then. I recorded on a VHS tape, so I get the whole show. I don't remember this, and it should be a much bigger deal than it is now. But I do you remember this? Because you listened every day.
I don't remember
then?
this. I probably skipped a Tarantino interview because I didn't care.
Bon Jovial says, yeah, LOL, they awarded Polanski the Oscar for The Pianist in 2002. The guy is a known predator even back then. I know, that's right. They gave him I forgot about that. Good call.
Predators rewarding predators, so.
And
just one of the guys.
Yeah, I mean, Tarantino's just kind of honest here, but that's the Hollywood culture. He's not atypical of the mindset out there. It's really.
I'm right. She's talked about it since no, he didn't really do anything to me, though. It was the technicality of her being 13.
Would you ever seduce a 13-year-old with pills and booze?
No.
You wouldn't.
Again, you're killing him with the pills and booze thing,
Why?
all
But
right?
it's true.
But no more than if she was 18 or 19 or 20.
How old is she?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'm going to read the
let's
transcript.
refute this.
Oh, wait a minute. No, the transcripts are like now she's trying to take care of her mom who's pissed off at her. So now she's...
G Canada's with you, Sarah. I'm never going to watch a Polanski or Woody Allen.
I don't care. It's not worth
I don't
it.
care. Well, they're not good. Woody Allen's movies are not good enough to even see past.
Yeah, I don't care about New York, so.
And I don't know when the hell Polanski's
Your love
ever gonna be
affair with
moving
New
it.
York, I don't care.
Woody Allen's the most overrated film. The stuff that, by the way, I should say that I keep forgetting to bring this up. Did you know Woody Allen did a movie called Celebrity? So this is just a mess of excuse for him, and there's a ton. So his take on the celebrity paparazzi culture, and Leonardo DiCaprio has got a major role in it. Guess who Leonardo DiCaprio plays in the movie?
I don't know.
Depp.
Okay.
Nobody brings this up. I'm in the theater screaming at the top of my lungs.
Is this
They
your
basically-
assumption?
No, there's no question. If anyone saw
Okay.
this, he plays. They reenact the Kate Moss hotel room scene.
Okay.
So DiCaprio is playing Depp, and he's fighting with his girlfriend. I can't remember who plays his girlfriend in the movie. And he's throwing stuff and screaming shit in a hotel room. They destroy the hotel room. He gets arrested, gets bailed out, and then goes. It's not a question. It's based on 100%. He's supposed to be Depp in the movie. And I can't believe I'm the only one who saw this or knows this.
Well, technically, he's not the first to destroy a hotel room, but you're probably right.
No. The way this was framed,
I said you're probably right.
The way this was staged, I know he's not the only one, but he's wearing exactly what Depp would wear.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
I'll take your word. I won't watch it.
It's called Celebrity. It came out in like 1999.
And you gave him
Shitty
money.
Woody Allen movie. His movies are he's an out of touch more out of touch than Hall & Oates. Is an antiquated film. He has no feel for anything realistic. He has completely no, and people just fawn over this guy for this like almost Seinfeldian dialogue that used to be, and all these comedians are influenced from him, and they give him a pass because they have no morals or integrity. But his days of artistic integrity are gone. He hasn't done a decent thing. It is unbelievable the false, embellished praise this guy gets, and they give him a pedophile pass.
Saying this, she's saying that. Now that she's an adult.
This was when it happened.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Her mom is now on her, and now she has to say he did this, he did that. Now she's an adult. She said a whole different story.
What did Mr.
Bon Jovi goes, many serial killers have children murdered people decades before they were caught. So Depp condones that too? Serial killer. Well, he's got his own daughter, and his daughter's 11 at that point. She's 3 years away of living in statutory rape sin.
Let it play for a bit and then catch up on chat.
He said, yeah, I'll take you home soon. What did you do? I told him, I said that I wanted to go home. What did Mr. Polanski say? He told me to go in the other room and lie down. I was going, no, I'd better go home because I was afraid. So I went and I sat down on the couch. And what, were you afraid of him? Him? See?
What was the answer?
Then they just go, him. I don't know. That was weird.
That's a very provocative question with no answer.
Happened? Yeah. What happened when you sat down on the couch? He sat down beside me and asked me if I was okay. I said no. What happened then? He reached over and he kissed me, and I was telling him no. Keep away. He said, I'll take you.
Ben 4810, another point. The Weekend of a Champion, a sports documentary. I don't know that. What is that about, Ben? Is it somewhat modern day, or when did that come out? He did a sports documentary. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Home soon. Then what happened? And then he went down and he started performing cuddliness. 13, cuddliness.
Okay, now let me talk for a second here.
She didn't even know what the word cunnilingus was. The cuddliness.
Okay, now let me
go
talk.
ahead.
Now, if you were going to...
Do you know Roman Polanski?
Oh, I've met him once. He's not a friend or anything.
Right.
Yes, he is.
Now, if you were going to really do equal time, then you could have his book, Roman by Polanski, and read his chapter about what he says happens. All right?
Of course he's going to say she was into it.
And, of course, she's going to say this because she knows she was in trouble with her mom.
So why do you side with him?
Because his version sounds more likely. All right? Sounds really, really more likely. She was not...
You know how he could have avoided all this? Not being with a 13-year-old.
Well,
go get a woman your own age.
He likes girls.
A 13-year-old?
Oh my
Hold on.
God.
This is the way I always put it in perspective with guys.
I know what you're going to say.
What? I'm not doing it. I'm still.
If you had a daughter.
Gary, yeah, Howard beat Gary to the punch.
If you had a 13-year-old
Right,
daughter,
right.
the most mature 13-year-old in the world, she looks 17, and your 13-year-old daughter, you leave her alone with a guy who's supposed to photograph her, who's 25 or 30, and you find out that he had cuddliness with her, you'd freak, wouldn't you?
No.
Wait, David goes, wait, Howard's doing a 180 on Woody Allen. It's like the one thing he was on the right side of history about. Yeah, David, there was a couple times in the last, Howard's talked about approaching Woody Allen at a Knicks game where they had friendly banter, and he told him to come on the show, and he gave him like a maybe and stuff. And there's at least 3 times that I know of where he slipped that in the shitty era that no one, the current contemporary time. But that's absolutely true. And it's a whole Hamptons Alec Baldwin connection. Make no mistake, he will have Woody Allen on his show and kiss his ass in a second.
Yes.
He had intercourse with
Yes.
him.
There'd be a
bullet in Polanski's head.
Yes. Yes.
I'd kill him.
I
And
would.
you'd kill him.
Absolutely.
You would kill him.
I'd beat the hell out of him.
Right.
All right.
Within an inch of his life.
Yeah, I'd beat the
what's
hell
the
out
difference?
of him. But the situation was not that she was against all this. She was down to party with Roman.
It is
Party.
against the law. Let's
13,
get
but you're the
right
adult.
down to it. It's
Oh, yeah.
against
The adult
law.
is supposed to know better.
Okay, but let's talk about it the way it is. She was down with the party. He was down with the party, but she
was 13. She doesn't get to say she's down with the party. She can't sign a contract. She can't rent an apartment. She can't do anything. She has to get her parents' permission for everything she wants to do.
At 13,
I know.
She would not make the decision.
You can't
But
make those
now we're
decisions.
not talking about rape anymore. We're not talking about doing it against her
Absolutely
will.
we are.
That's right.
No, we're not.
Yes.
Sarah, do you think he should be canceled for this comment?
I want to know what he's doing.
Bon Jovi, he's thriving. Tarantino is
No,
as
I want to
worshipped
know
as
what
ever.
Tarantino's doing at home when the 13-year-old comes over.
He lives in Israel now.
Good for him.
He married
Stay
I think,
there.
an Israeli woman, and he moved to Israel. But again, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is as worshipped as a movie has been in several years. He is at as good a shape. If this were different, I mean, 2003 is a different time than it is now. Even though there was an internet, it's way worse now. And the Me Too culture, if that got traction today, this is crazy shit. I didn't even hear it the first go around. I found it today by accident.
Yeah, it's gross.
And leave it to old school Howard though for getting the skinny.
People
and
get
the
canceled
hard-hitting
for much
questions.
less.
Howard was a truly the top interviewer at that time. He deserved the moniker for this. Who's doing this? Who's conducting an interview like this?
Yeah, Melvin is saying that the Tate murder fucked him up. Doesn't excuse him being a pedophile. I don't care how many people you lose in your life. Yeah, it's gonna fuck you up, but you should still know that's not right.
Right.
I'd kill myself before I did that.
Quentin wants to toe both lines, and he doesn't know, and he's having some semblance of self-awareness here towards the end, but he can't not kiss these guys out. He is such a film nerd, he doesn't know how to draw the line between morality. He truly is like the real deal film nerd where these guys can just do no wrong.
Yep. That's gross. Thanks for sharing that. No, I enjoyed
it. It's not done.
Oh.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, you're.
I mean, she can't do anything. She has to get her parents' permission for everything she wants to do.
At 13,
I know.
She would not make the decision.
You can't
But
make those
now we're
decisions.
not talking about rape anymore. We're not talking about doing it against her
Absolutely
will.
we are.
That's right.
No, we're not.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Disgusting.
Yes.
No, you're talking about it's a minor
rape.
situation. It's a situation that she's a minor.
It's rape.
That is the situation.
He should have
Is
done
it
jail
against the law?
time.
You're right.
He should have done jail
Well, no,
time.
in this book though, do you know what happened?
I will never let him come back.
By the way, you didn't see Once Upon a Time in America, guys, Hollywood. And guys, I haven't seen the movie in a little while, and it really is a great movie. But Tarantino does a Polanski thing in that movie, right? So the house of who's the woman, Sarah, that his wife,
Sharon Tate?
Sharon Tate, yeah.
Yeah.
He does it. So they do the whole thing with Sharon Tate and in Once Upon a Time in America. So he's still obsessed with Polanski because he does the thing with Polanski in one. I got to watch it again. There's a whole sub story with Roman Polanski and Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Into this country.
Thanks
I
for
won't.
saying
He's not coming into the country.
No, in his book,
Laughs at me.
in his book,
Yeah.
he talks about why he split.
Why do you like him so much? Why do you think? Because he's a director?
I've read the book.
You're
So
a
I
director,
actually-
he's a director. Is that what's going on here?
I have a little bit of information on this, all right, as opposed to just popping off on this and that and the other.
Anytime a person's 13 and an adult has sex with them, I believe that's rape.
Look, okay, I don't believe that's rape. I believe it's against the law.
Right.
All right?
I believe it's rape.
I don't believe it's rape. I mean, not at 13. Not for these 13-year-old party girls out there.
Oh, my
Really?
13-year-old party girls. What is that?
Hey, let me ask you. All right, so you did.
Couldn't you have found an
When did
18-year-old
you
party?
guys turn into Bill
O'Reilly?
Bill O'Reilly.
But
I
all we
wasn't
did-
looking, all right?
I did, but wait a second. I have a daughter.
Well, that didn't age well.
So
Bill O'Reilly
because,
quote.
but listen, because they are saying you shouldn't rape a child, they're Republicans.
He's trying to give him the get off my lawn, Bill O'Reilly. This is 2003 when Bill O'Reilly's at the apex of his, and then before Bill O'Reilly is how many sexual misconduct things? How much of a lawsuit did they settle with him?
He's just saying
O'Reilly's
Republicans in
is
general.
no, I know, but it's a get off my lawn kind of thing.
Then
O'Reilly.
I'd rather be a
face-
Republican then if that's the decider.
Or what David says here, Howard's no better, sexualizing the Olsen twins on the air. That's good. Yeah, I mean it's not rape, but it really is one step away, David. The thought is certainly, and Millie Bobby Brown, that's the last guy, but I mean, he's certainly on the right side of it here. But this is a fascinating discussion. This is crazy shit. And Howard's about to bring up his own daughters here. This is when he's knee deep in the Allison, kind of. Cool dad Wednesday mode. So he would go out to Old Westbury and be with with Ashley on Wednesday. There was and then he'd be the weekend warrior. And this is the Allison smear campaign period, 2003.
Bill O'Reilly?
Bill O'Reilly. But I
all we
wasn't
did-
looking, all right?
But wait a second. I have a daughter who is 11. She is such a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And even I have a daughter, 17, who, while she is old enough, certainly, you still see that youthful innocence. I've had 3 daughters. I know what it is to have a 13-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way emotionally.
Bon Jovi goes, Annie Hall and Manhattan they're not. If you watch them again today, Bon, you wouldn't call them perfect. But that is the 2 worship movies from him. But again, it's 35 years ago those movies came out. And they're not good enough to give him a pass. Certainly not even close.
They're equipped to run off with a 40-year-old Roman Polanski and have him say, come on, baby, let's drink, let's take some pills. And I say, it's up to Roman Polanski to go, you know what, you're really young. And you know what, maybe this is insane. I have an attraction for you, but you've got to go home.
Yeah, look, okay, now, on this situation, I agree with you.
David, Woody Allen hasn't done a good movie since Husband and Wives in 92 when a 5-year-old David went to the theater to see Husband and Wives. Bon Jovi, I saw Celebrity at the cinema. Not very good. It is a piece of shit, Bon Jovi. My cousin was doing that thing when you're watching a movie and he can't help but whisper to you how bad it is, the whole movie. I remember how my cousin and I saw it together in 99. And 2 gay cousins watching a Woody Allen movie together on a Tuesday night.
Right.
I agree with what I'm having. The only thing I'm having a problem with is using super big buzzwords that don't quite apply to the situation when you say that word and what you imagine.
You got to get off the ecstasy and listen to me. Now what?
That's true, Gina. Howard did a Cosby giving Quaaludes to some broad. I know. Humble bragging about it, even though it wasn't like he didn't think it was a big deal then. And now the Cosby stuff, that's all people think about with Cosby is Coslude. Oh, you leave it, Gina?
What about it?
Okay, so after this airs, right? Somehow, this made more news than I even realized back then. Somehow I missed this. So Gayle King and her CBS show gets a hold of this, and they do a story on it. And they interview the woman who was Polanski's victim.
Quentin Tarantino faces new criticism for controversial comments he made during an old radio interview that just resurfaced. In 2003, Tarantino defended fellow director Roman Polanski, who pled guilty to unlawful sex with a 13-year-old in 1976.
Someone excavated that interview and just brought attention to it like fairly recently. This is crazy shit. And they interview his victim.
Okay.
Again, this is.
I already know what she's going to say, so go ahead.
The interview is from September of 2003.
Mm-hmm.
7. The victim said she was drugged and raped. Jerika Duncan has the victim's reaction to Tarantino's comments. Jerika, good morning.
Good morning. Now, this audio surfaced just after Tarantino defended.
Gunga Din's got to push. Depp did an interview about his movie Black Mass, saying Whitey Bulger was a good guy. Depp has a tendency, Gunga did, to have this outlaw spirit in him, where the guys like George Young from Blow is responsible for the cocaine movement in the country, a lot of crazy crimes, and Whitey Bulger, who's a mass murderer, and he likes to defend these because initially Whitey Bulger didn't want to give his blessing to the movie, so they were trying to make him happy by complimenting him.
Mm-hmm.
And so Depp wanted to meet with Whitey Bulger, and Whitey Bulger refused to meet with Depp or the filmmakers because he just didn't approve of anything the movie did. And Depp has a tendency to definitely sugarcoat these outlaws and scumbags. Gunga Din, you are absolutely right. He absolutely did say he was a good guy, or he defended him in a way to lionize him.
Himself for persuading actress Uma Thurman to perform a stunt that left her badly injured some 15 years ago. Well, in this radio interview, Tarantino repeatedly appears to fault Polanski's young victim.
I don't care what Quentin Tarantino thinks. I know what the truth is. He was wrong.
54-year-old Samantha Geimer was just 13 when Roman Polanski offered to take these photos of her for a modeling shoot. About 3 weeks later, she says the then 43-year-old Polanski gave her alcohol and a Quaalude before raping her. In a 2003 radio interview with Howard Stern that surfaced Monday, director Quentin Tarantino defended Polanski.
I believe it's rape.
I don't believe it's rape. I mean, not at 13. Not for these 13-year-old party girls.
Tarantino repeatedly argues that the girl was complicit.
More than Europe, more than China.
With a 13-year-old girl, and you're in a...
Tarantino, Sarah, was Tarantino named on Epstein Island?
I don't know.
Air Epstein?
I'm not sure.
Was he on any of the? I never saw his. I don't remember.
He's got creepy things about him, but I don't know about Epstein.
Grown man, you know that's wrong because she has
giving her booze and pills.
I'm not. Look, she was down with it.
Oh, you're crazy.
People have been saying what he said and worse since I was 13. So I've always had to deal with it.
Tarantino has recently apologized for his apparent mistreatment of actress Uma Thurman on the set of their movie Kill Bill, and for largely ignoring Harvey Weinstein's pattern of alleged sexual abuse.
I completely forgot about his Harvey Weinstein. I mean, they are attached at the hip. I mean, Miramax and Tarantino's movie is everything. I completely forgot about that. Oh, God damn.
Jezebel was tipped off to the Howard Stern audio by a reader.
I think what surprised me was just how cavalier Tarantino was being. And I think we definitely see the hypocrisy in this apologia that's happening now.
Geimer says she's heartened that more people are listening to victims in the wake of the Me Too movement.
I think Me Too is a good thing where we could have solidarity for each other. The shoe's a bit on the other foot now where I'm shown sympathy and Roman's the monster.
Polanski fled to France in the late 1970s. His lawyer tells CBS News Polanski regrets his actions and has apologized to Geimer, and he believes Tarantino's comments represent a misunderstanding of Polanski's conduct. Tarantino has not responded to our request for comment. And this is a case where I think he should have just stayed away from that topic.
Exactly right. And I know it was done many years ago, but there's just no excuse to say what he said about a 13-year-old girl. No 13-year-old girl is that mature and knows what they're doing. Right. Thank you, Jerika.
Crazy shit.
I agree with Gail for the first time in my life.
You love Gail.
You
love Gail.
Gail
lives in Robin's building, or did. They were in the same. That
explains it.
Crazy shit that came out. Just somebody going through the archives, dishing out. It's some of the stuff that slips by us is crazy. How Tarantino is, like Bon Jovial said, not canceled on those comments. We've heard way less than that of the can. Again,
even back then, we could laugh at things. I think that would have been an issue even back then.
Bon Jovi goes, nah, Howard wouldn't have Woody Allen. Bullshit. You know who his best friend? You know, Alec Baldwin and Woody Allen are really good friends, and that's how it works back there, out there in the Hamptons. It is 6 degrees. I truly, and I've heard Howard say he wanted him on the show. I absolutely have a few times. There's no lengths the new Marcy Howard won't stoop to contradict himself. There's nothing is out of bounds for him to contradict. There's nothing. None of that guy exists. He is absolutely no morals. It is all about star fucking. And like your list is, and it continues to grow. I think there's even 10 more names that need to be added to that list you made of all
Probably
the
on like
creeps,
page 55 now.
Stern adjacent creeps. All right, so we'll end it there. Optimistic way to end, right?
Yeah, great.
Uplifting.
What a high. Take you right into the weekend.
Crazy shit. Watson and Kerwinkle had not sawed off Sharon Tate's head. Polanski would have not had would had a much more normal life.
That's the one I was talking about earlier.
Okay. Arm, you could David says you could end Tarantino by getting this on. I know we could like float this on Twitter. I have this audio. It's a 6.5 minute fully clip of Quentin just it's in defense. It's worse than the Depp one. If that's just because it's longer. Depp was going down a really bad road if it didn't because there's nothing about the Depp clip that's even remotely appealing.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can even say is out of context. Bon Jovi in capital letters.
I can't let that one go. I make excuses for him all day long. I can't.
You have my blessing to float this on Twitter if you want. I'll give you the if you want to ruin who Tarantino could not be more beloved with the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood gushing he's gotten. And the Brad Pitt's best role ever. Polanski's so into orgies and Sharon. So yeah, I gotta watch it again. I hate to say it, I gotta watch it. I don't hate to say it, but I gotta watch it again to get the full I was slightly ignorant to Crazy Robin. Welcome. CP time again. That's okay, Crazy Robin. We'll take any Crazy Robin. Every time I see Crazy Robin, I think about her complimenting the Patreon. Thank you for all your support on the Patreon. I will put more Patreon stuff. I'm going to put Depp, the Depp movie Slow Burn he did with Eric Roberts and Beverly D'Angelo from 1986. It's like a made-for-Showtime movie where he busts out the Air Jordans in the movie. And you want me to put up the
Charlie Sheen?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, yeah. No, I want you to put that on the regular YouTube channel.
You said
No,
Patreon.
I said the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
I was
true.
waiting for it all day.
The deleted scene from Nightmare on Elm Street one with Glenn Lance
Mm-hmm.
getting risen from the bed. And I will put the next Stern thing I'm going to put up. Oh, I don't know. I have so many. Any requests? I'm always taking requests. I have so many things I could just throw on there that are ready to go. I'm just trying to think of something that's kind of unique.
But as of right now, we have a show Sunday. It's probably one of our last Sunday shows for.
As of now, it's tentative, but as of now.
Yeah, but it's going to be. It's planned to be a very special episode. It's very enjoyable. I'm
Overhaul.
looking forward to it.
We should say.
Okay.
I want to thank the WINO Radio Gunk WINO Forever thread for Johnny Bye Bye and Great Lazarus and Melvin and everyone and the Johnny Bye Bye gave us the into that. I had not. There was no way we were getting our hands on that. So it was a full episode of overhauling from what is it? That show at 9 seasons.
I don't know.
So it's a full hour episode of the Depp Amber Heard Mustang thing, and there's the executive producer of that show, David Kalaki, did a testimony during the trial, which is a very, very creepy and eerie accompaniment for this when you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll
one of my
be
favorite depositions, but it was never used.
Very, very, and they never used it. I know. David writes, do you remember when the night Louis C.K. got canceled? He was about to release a Woody Allen-esque movie like Manhattan, where a film director was into teens or something. Just Justifying. God damn it. That's right. That's right. Agreed, David. Millie Bobby Brown. All right, everyone. I want to thank the entire chat for all your brilliant comments. I try to put all up as I could within reason while I'm spinning these plates. Ben writes, these guys hide in plain sight. Ben 4810. These guys hide in plain sight. They use art as a way of both promotion and a shield. And has Harvey Levin ever done a story on his fellow bro? No, Ben, he is not. And you are absolutely right. You spot the F on with that.
Well, they're all friends for a reason.
Shit. Husbands and Wives is a great movie. Crimes and Misdemeanors. Bon Jovi is like a film nerd. He really is like a cinephile. He really knows his shit. He really is an underrated cinephile. He sees everything. Good movies and talent never give a pass to anyone, says Crazy Robin. Deviancy and pedophilia cannot be treated. Their brains are hardwired. Also, too, Crazy Robin, when they're very replaceable. When there's a zillion filmmakers that never get a shot, that have brilliant movies out there that just can't get in. They need to be replaced. They all think they're not replaceable. They are very replaceable. Taxi Driver is 50 years old in a classic film about a sociopath in love with an underage prostitute, and shot in that brilliant time of gritty late 70s New York City. Fully shot in that time, which is just, there's nothing like it. Big bad, old, gritty, sexy New York. Johnny Depp at a premiere for the biopic Black Mass, in which the actor talked about his subject's potential for kindness and humanity.
Here's
The
my
duality,
potential.
the Whitey Bulger duality.
I know. He taps into their personality for an extended period of time, and he thinks he can relate to them on some level. And then he makes a mistake by going out and doing press and saying how wonderful they are, and yeah, it's a nightmare to stop.
We probably could be more fastidious about trying to get old Howard clips out there to get him in with the right publication and the Olsen twin stuff David's talking about. Right, I think we should be more hardcore with that. We easily, I could be. Look, I have it all, and I could easily be more fastidious with trying to gotcha him, as it were. Of course, I'll let my 13-year-old get photographed in the pool. Affy writes, yeah, of course I'll let my 13-year-old get photographed in a pool with a 43-year-old man. Sounds like Dan Schneider stuff, right? Affy's.
No feet involved.
When you frame it, it's so crazy with civilians, and if that went on, your 13-year-old daughter wants to do a photo shoot with a 40. Could you imagine greenlighting that as a mom?
You know, it's the swinging 70s, though, but yeah, I still wouldn't.
Yes, Crazy Robin. Directors are beholden to Weinstein for greenlighting both major motion pictures and independent films. And a lot of them are as hypocritical as he is, Crazy Robin, a lot of times. And obviously, Weinstein's a total scumbag. With that casting couch thing, there's a lot of women during that probably did. Like, there's rumors that Jennifer Lawrence was sending him all those selfies, that fappening stuff. So some of these women are indeed victims, and some of them are casting couch, who would do anything to get a role. And I do believe probably threw themselves at it. Some of them aren't innocent. Some of them probably did throw themselves at him. They will do anything, how expendable they are, to get a role. And when it was safe to pile on him, they all, as much as a creep as he is and as guilty as he is, there's probably a few chicks that, believe me, I'll do anything to get this role. Every casting couch cliche you can think of. Akin to Depp and Amber Heard. Tarantino's a huge IQ. He's too much of an egomaniac to know that smart does not equal wise. He thinks he's looking at it at a higher level, but he's just talking out of his ass. Well said, Pellel. Another brilliant quote by Pellel. Thank you, Kylo, Sierra Alpha, and good night to you. Good night, everyone. This is Arm for Sarah saying, and by the way, join us, I believe Sunday at 4 o'clock
That's the
Eastern
plan.
time.
Yeah, probably around there.
For our overhauling show. And the next Radio Gunk, I'm not sure what it is, but check out Monique's Penthouse tour she just did. I think it's very underrated. She's actually in Howard's building in the Millennium Towers and goes right by his fucking door. Does not get enough attention. You should really watch it. It's only I think it's only a half hour. I didn't see it live. I wasn't home, and I realized it too late. I was going to chime in. I was mad just because I wanted to write all the people that lived in Howard's building and stuff. And I'm obsessed with all things personal life in Howard. And I've been there.
You don't say.
All right, everyone. This is Arm for Sarah, for real this time, saying, no time is a good time for goodbyes.